Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Encounters, the late night spiritual UFO talk show. I'm your host, CmdrAleon, and it seems to have been a fairly quiet evening, but now it's not quiet at all because the commander's here. For all relatives, welcome. Joplin, thanks for joining us. Reach out, Brent, everybody, 1111 Crimson, Chrissy, Gary Hass, good to see you. Aniwa, Royal Roy, everybody out there, Paul Flint. This is Tahar is always the word. Katie, welcome to the show. And tomorrow morning is our radio show on WESU-FM, so don't forget, I should mention this more often. On Sunday mornings, we're on from 11:30 to 1 on the international broadcast at WESUFM.org. Sunday mornings, 11:30 Eastern in the United States. That's on NPR Pacifica affiliated radio with the Cosmic Eye Show. That's Hey Katie, tomorrow morning. And it's good to have everybody with us. Good to see everybody coming in here, wherever you may be. And I see all the names of different people coming in here. I do acknowledge everybody, so welcome. It's going to be another good night. And we're going to do interviews with people, hopefully. And we know that there's a lot going on, a lot of shifts going on. And I was off planet for a while, you know. Hey, hopefully a little butterfly, good to see you. Linda, good to see you as well. Hope you're all doing well on this Saturday evening on Encounters. So we're just getting started, relaxed. If you're just coming in here and you've been invited by the algorithm at TikTok, this is an actual spiritual UFO talk show that you probably, if you've never seen it, hey Lexicon, if you've never seen the show before, stick around. We actually do a show, Voice of One, welcome. I'm a professional radio broadcaster. I'm also from Mars originally. I work with the Ashtar Galactic Command or Ashtar Command before there was any internet. I'm a contactee, simply put. So just to give you some background for those that are new. Karen 82, good to see you. And for whatever reason, it's been pretty quiet tonight as I was monitoring or looking at TikTok lives. I said, you know what? Good thing we have this show here, because we'll just bring everybody around the world in here who's interested, who's been visited by space people. And so there's been this whole thing going on, getting around that the Vatican was making an announcement about extraterrestrials and so forth. And I did some fact checking, and these people on TikTok that were going off about it. Hey, Chesel, good to see you. About the Vatican making an announcement at a conference regarding extraterrestrials. It was nothing. It was totally not true. So all these people went on TikTok. I see a few of them making these posts that were recorded about the Vatican, like it's some extraordinary thing's going to happen. And there was nothing when I did the fact checking regarding that. Hey, Chesno, what they were doing is they were discussing the apparitions that people talked about, seeing the apparitions, like the Mother Mary and all that stuff. But in the fact check, there's nothing about the Vatican coming out and saying anything regarding extraterrestrial intelligence. So I know I couldn't believe it. When I see these videos, I have to fact check what I'm seeing, because these people, they take something and they turn it into something else. And that's the problem on the internet, So if you see anything talking about the Vatican 2 days ago coming out and saying something about extraterrestrial intelligence, there was nothing said. It was about apparitions, which is a whole nother subject altogether. And, the whole history about the apparitions of the Mother Mary. Now, I can talk about the Mother Mary, and there have been, people that have researched the Mother Mary and how she was projected. And I know this is going to probably, for religious people, they're going to say, what is he talking about? Hey, Jackie. Hey, Scrubs USA. So let me just mention about the Mother Mary in a non-religious galactic level of understanding. I know this is going to blow people's minds. It won't blow your mind if you're fully awakened and truly understand what I'm saying. So the Mother Mary, just like Jesus, is a space being. I know this is going to kind of go against the grain of earth-based religion, but you know me, I'm here to bust the matrix, right? For years, okay, I've understood that the Mother Mary was not from this planet, that the Mother Mary was also here to bring love, and she was a starseed, just like Jesus Christ, who was not from this planet, was a starseed, just like you are a starseed, just like I was a starseed. So I know it's going to bust everyone's, religious beliefs about her, but she is also a being of light, a very loving spiritual being of light, a Christed being of light, the Mother Mary. Now, was that her real name? Well, for now, we'll just go with that, But she was also a space being and came from a very high level of spiritual light. So for some of you, this might be natural for you. What I'm saying, you can actually understand it. Let's see here. And then Terry Highland says, back in 1977, when I was in the Navy in Dixon, California, at a transmission site, for me, the truth, I'm not sure what that's related to. I don't know if it's related to an ET encounter or a flying saucer sighting or whatever. I'm not quite sure. Cosmic Christie says, I believe you. And I've never really talked about the Mother Mary from a galactic standpoint on this UFO show, but I know it's going to bust the truly devout religious people. It's going to make them upset because I'm saying, maybe it won't make them upset. Maybe they'll say, wow, I never heard that perspective before about the Mother Mary being a space being. Yeah, and you won't hear it anywhere else but here. Really. The Mother Mary being a space being. So tonight, you're tuned in and watching Encounters, the late night spiritual UFO talk show. See, I'll go where nobody else will go. That's the thing about my show. I take it where nobody else will take it. Have you heard anyone out there on YouTube or even on TikTok talking about Mother Mary being a space being? I bet you haven't. But here, the commander will go there. You see, I will go into that subject, It'll happen. And as I'm speaking, I am certain that there are people all over the world right now in different parts of the planet having encounters, visitations, sightings of spaceships or UFOs. There are people having visitations with people from other planets right now that are just having them. They might not even have a TikTok or a YouTube or a Facebook. They might have nothing other than the fact that they exist and they're having the visitation. Jenny, good to see you, Jenny Corbett. Good to see you, sister. So these are things to make you think. So I throw things out there, and I want you to think about them, And then, the commander tonight just talked about Mother Mary being from space. He just talked about the Mother Mary. She was from outer space. And then it gets around, and then other people might say, oh, this guy, CmdrAleon on Encounters, is talking about Mother Mary being a space being. Of course. The projection of her in Medjugorje, from a cosmic perspective, that she was projected from a spaceship. And what people witnessed was actually a spaceship projecting her image to these children. But the religious people will tell you that it was a religious experience, but it wasn't. When you're dealing with advanced beings from other planetary systems of very highly evolved spiritual consciousness, they can project anything and anywhere they want. Similar to projections, if you watch any of the original Star Wars movies, they had these these things that would, like, they press a button and it would project the image of Leia. Remember Star Wars, if you're a Star Wars fan. They projected ththese images. R2D2 would project an image of one of the people. So think of it this way, that an advanced civilization that comes in peace projected a image of, in this case, Mother Mary. And the Mother Mary presented her message. And she was on a ship projecting it. And then, of course, the message is completed and the spaceship takes off. A hologram, yeah. Yeah, that's correct. Hey, Handy J. So that's where I am right now. I don't know what presented. I just, for some reason, I was thinking about Mother Mary, and I said, wait a minute. And this afternoon, I kept thinking about Mother Mary as a space being. And then I went, hey, Johnny, good to see you. Hey, Paranormal Ghostbusters. So, breaking news. You're not going to find, I don't think you're going to find anybody out there on the internet, any website on the internet. Maybe, if you do, let me know. But I don't look at internet websites. If you know me, all my information is direct. I don't go researching, is Mother Mary an extraterrestrial space being? Getting that she is. And she's a very loving person. Just as Jesus came from another planet as well, a very loving being of light, both of them. And they both had a mission to come to Earth in their own way to assist humanity. But they're not the only ones. Many of you are here to assist humanity. You're not just human beings. Many of you who are awakened, the ones that aren't awakened, that is coming here to learn, that's great, But many of you who are having direct encounters with space beings come into your house, and you're having ongoing contact, it's no different than, let's say, a Jesus or a Mother Mary or someone from another planet coming here and interacting with a whole lot of people or a group of people. Wendy. Yeah, so I talked about Jesus being a space being for a long time. I've talked about that on my radio show for about 21 years. Julie, good to see you. So I have no hesitation about what I get when I get my downloads, but I know that Jesus and Mother Mary were from outer space. You won't find it in any Earth-based Bible. Hey, Deborah, good to see you. And that seems to be the theme when I came back out of body earlier this evening. I came back into body around 10 o'clock, and I was out of body for a couple hours. And this is what I got. So it's amazing what we can all do when we go out of body into a dream, like into, when you're really like what you call the sleeping state. For me, it's not sleeping. I just come back with information for me. And then I share my information with you. And then we have a discussion about it, right? And it's good. So the very foundation of who we are, all the encounters and stories people tell me. Now, there's a gentleman that was on one of my lives, I think it was last night. He said he worked at Area 51. I'm hoping he comes on tonight. And I got the sense that he did. He was from the Las Vegas area, and I'm hoping he comes on. I don't know if I followed him or not, but I just said, come on tonight. And I think this person has a lot of information, and he's an Area 51 person. He probably has top security clearance. I get the feeling when I was talking to him that this person was, I sense he had some security clearance. So though you've been watching my show for over a year, you know that I'm always interested in disclosure. I'm always interested in people that have top secret information, that they can come on here anonymously. They don't have to say what state they're in if they have the information. And we are happy to give them a forum to share top secret information. So if you have, hey, Flo, good to see you. If you have top secret information, I want to know about it. If you are having visitations, I want to know about it. One of the things I want to teach people is no matter who you are, where you are, what you are, um, love is the key. Love for me is, before I had any internet, I always worked in the frequency of love. Wherever I go, I'd be hypocritical if I didn't. To do the mission work, you have to, it's not always easy to be the love frequency on this planet, but if you can learn to love everybody without judgment, that is the key thing when contact happens on our planet. Because I've said this before, even before I got on here, I've always stated, you can't have spaceships with space people that are of love land on our planet, come out and be attacked by human beings that say, I don't understand who you are, why are you here? Because there are people, we have billions of people on the earth, and not everyone's going to be accepting of the fact that there are space people coming to planet Earth. You've been conditioned and programmed to believe things through images, through your religions, whatever. You've been programmed to believe certain things, right? I'm here to tell you, throw it out the window, clear your heads out, meditate if you think that way, because it's not the way to think. A lot of the space people, the spiritual beings of light who are human, have been, essentially been in articles on websites, even on TikTok, have been labeled things they shouldn't be labeled, from people that don't know what they're talking about, that people that don't have the background. And when you listen to these people on their recordings on TikTok or anywhere else, the one thing I find is they probably are basing their rants on a religion that they belong to. They've got some religious belief system. It could be a fringe belief system. It could be something they've created in their own mind, but they've created this belief system, right? And so I think one of the other things I came back with when I went out of body, good, Brenda Madeline, good to see you, is that people need to be in the frequency of love. Space people have been visiting our planet for billions of years before you and I even existed. It's not new. It's new for us because we're the current generation of modern society that's having those experiences, right? But it's not new. There have been space people visiting our planet for a long time, a very long time. And I see Oz for 200 wants to come on. Oz for 200, what would you like to, we're going to be taking guests in a few minutes. What would you like to share with us, Oz for 200? If you can just put a comment in the section. One thing that's doing with everybody is comments in the section if you're going to be a guest, what your contact is coming. Daniel, good to see you. Kimberly says, my skies are active tonight. I'm on my roof. I'd like to come on and show you some cool things. Kimberly, absolutely. Kimberly, we'll bring Kimberly on in just a few minutes. We're going to bring you on, Kimberly, and we'd like to see what's happening in your skies. That would be great. And so it's really important that people change their perceptions on this planet. If somebody, or if there are people there, I've had guests on here for a long time, since last year. I had a woman in Arizona who had plasma beings coming in her house. Now, for a general populated society, they'd say, what are you talking about, plasma beings? What are plasma beings? For the uneducated, they would not know. There's a lot of different things going on. And then you have the space people, the star people, as I call them, and the indigenous cultures know about this. They've been coming to Earth for billions of years. In our current history, now we're in a place where we're going to have contact. So how are people going to act with that? And if there are people around the world, whether they have TikTok or Facebook or whatever, having contact, and you don't believe it, then you need to soul search in your heart and find out where you are. Because you can't be open to different things and then be closed. You'd be contradicting your consciousness. Either you're open or you're not open. That's for me, it's very black and white. Either you're open or you're not open. You can't mix it up. You can't say, well, one day I'm going to be a good, and then one day I'm not going to be open. No, it doesn't work like that. Either you're waking up, it's not, you can choose to go back to sleep. That's up to you. Either you're waking up to this whole subject or you're not waking up to the subject. But you have to make that choice. No one can push you to do it. No one can force you to do it. You as a person on this planet have to make that choice. You can't pick and choose. Well, you could, but then again, you're going to get yourself stuck in a situation where you're not moving forward. You're not expanding your consciousness, right, to the subject. To expand your consciousness to this subject, not just the nuts and bolts of it, but the spiritual context of it, you got to let go of every single thing you've ever believed in your life. Even if it's easier to keep holding on to something, you got to let go of it. It might not be easy. You might feel empty for a day or two, but after a day or two of being empty, you'll be filled up with a cup of enlightenment and understanding that you didn't have before. And yeah, it's scary sometimes to let go of the earth-based belief systems, the 3D things you've been taught all your life. But I'm telling you, if you let go of it, and you let it just drop out and fade out, you'll be a different person. You'll be much more enlightened. You'll have a better understanding of what's going on. I really, truly, in my heart, when I deal with this subject, it has to be done. You can't say one day I'm going to be this way, and then the next day you can't be one way with one person, and then one way with another person. Either you're that way with everybody, or you have a problem, right? You can't. It's like someone saying, "Oh yeah, I believe in peace on earth," and then you support going to war with a country. Oh, we have to go to war with that country, but I believe we should have peace. Well, you can't have peace if you're deciding that you think we should have war with a country. Oh yeah, but we'll have peace after the war's over. No, it doesn't work that way. Either you are a person of peace or you're not a person of peace. Either you are accepting of people having encounters with space people around the world, or you really don't believe in it. You have to decide who you are. No one here is going to decide that for you. You're going to have to go into deep meditation, reflect on who you are. That's important. As we get closer and closer to the day we do have contact, are you going to be that person that's when they come out of the spaceship and they're men and women just like us that are beautiful people? Are you going to be screaming and yelling at them? Or are you going to be embracing them and saying, welcome to Earth? You have to make that decision. I can't make it for you. I know what I'm going to do. I've known what I'm going to do since I came here. When I got old enough to know who I was. So what are you going to do? If a ship landed in your backyard and a man and a woman came out of the spaceship and they walked to your door, are you going to get defensive? Or are you going to be the person that's going to say, welcome to Earth? What kind of person are you going to be? You can say, oh, I'm a really enlightened person. I'm really lovey-dovey. And maybe you're not really lovey-dovey. Maybe you're afraid. Maybe you're scared. Then face those things, face your fears. Because when contact happens, or before it happens, face your fears. If you have anything in you that you're afraid of, let go of it. Face it. Look at it. Say, this is not the person I want to be. Face your fears. In this subject matter, you have to face the things and look at the subject and see what it is that you are looking to be. Are you really seeking to be enlightened on the whole subject of UFOs and space people and all these things, or are you just going with the flow, but you're not really, so this would be cool. This is hip. I'm going to kind of get into the subject and just kind of look at it. But looking at the subject is different than understanding the subject. There's a lot of people these days who are on the UFO bandwagon because it's a big thing. It's a thing to do. It's the hot thing on the internet, right? So there are a lot of people that jump into it. But how many of those billions of people or millions of people understand the subject? How many of those people really have done soul searching about what they believe to be true? How many of those people have ever done the work to understand what is going on out there in the universe, as opposed to just following a website or something? How many people have done that? I'm amped up tonight, folks, so watch out. When I come back from coming, off planet, and I get downloaded information, I present the information. Everything I'm telling you, I have not gotten from a website. Everything I'm sharing with you, I do not go and read somebody's site who's channeled any information. I don't go anywhere. I don't need to. All my information is direct. I'm just reading things. I'm going to bring S. No, we're not going to have that happen, S. We're not dying or something. But we are going to have contact. The subject of UFO contact or space contact is on. We've had contact on this planet for billions of years. Before our lifetime, we've had contact in all the different times for billions of years. Atlantis, Lemuria, the land of Mu, the Aztec civilizations, the Incas. During the time period when all these things existed, and when they existed, there were influences by non-terrestrial space people that advanced knowledge to our planet. So no, we're not going to die. Folklore says, so kind of like the Jetsons. I'm just trying to catch up here. I'm going to bring the person on. I am communicated with the Arcturians. Jack C. Clare. So Jack C. Clare, when you say you're communicating with the Arcturians, have you had physical visitation? Hey, Susan Mary, good to see you. Have you had physical visitation? I'm trying to catch up. Hey, Lavelle, I'm just slowly reading everybody's comments here. I believe it is because I saw them. User 327. Who did you see? I'm kind of reading things out of context. Connie, the Patriots. I don't trust who. Connie, who don't you trust? Let's see, Michael, welcome to the show. Texture next door. When will it happen? It's been happening. Contact's been happening on Earth for billions of years. For our current history, our current humanity, our current human understanding, our contact will be increasing within the next couple of years, next few years. Friend of Maiden says, we are all universal, we are all one, it's all about love. That's right, you've got it. Jim Bob says, I'm a believer. I'm just reading people's comments. I'm ready for contact 2026-27. Shisha. Let's see here. Fran, good to see you. I'm just trying to catch up. Texture next door says War 2035, The Great Reveal 2047. There's not going to be any wars. Really? Well, you have wars going on right now. User 327, please can I call? Can you explain? Please can I call? What? There's nowhere to call. You're right here. Can you invite me to live? I want to get the other person who's got activity going on first. Hey, Victor, good to see you. Thank you, user 327. The person that said they have a lot of activity, can you make a comment saying again about the activity so I can bring you up? There's so many people here, I'm not sure which one it was. Kimberly. Oh, thank you, Kimberly. You're going to be my first guest. I hope my earpods work tonight. We'll find out. Let them work.
Hi there.
Evidently, my earpods aren't working. Do you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. My earpods again are not working. I'm going to have to bring this into my phone store and find out what's going on here. But we can definitely hear you. Good evening.
Good evening.
And so you're having activity going. Can you tell us where you are and where the activity is happening for our
Yes,
listeners, our viewers?
I'm in the foothills of the Ozarks, and I have a lake about half a mile from me, and I I always see activity. I mean, it's always been, but it's been really nice. The weather's nice, so I got on the roof today, waiting for it. But the moon's bright. The owls are hooting, and if you hear any like activity going on, people are around me are like partying on their patios because it's kind of the lake thing. But I'm the weird girl on the roof watching.
Now, are you inside or outside on the? Are you outside of your in home or?
Yeah, I'm outside. Yeah.
Can you go on? Can you turn your camera on?
Yeah. Hold on a second.
We're gonna have her turn the camera on here on Encounters, and this is what we do on our show, folks. For long time since I've been on here, we'll have people go on live and we'll see spaceships or UFOs where they are. There we go. There we go. And are you seeing them tonight? Have you been seeing any activity tonight where you are?
Yeah, I need to make sure that I am. Oh, there we go. Okay, so yeah, yes, there's activity. So here's the moon.
Okay, that's the moon. Let me bring you up on the screen. I'm going to put you on the
Okay.
screen on a large screen here. Hold on a minute. So we're going to give you the large screen, and the commander's going to go on the small screen here.
Okay. So there's the
And give
moon.
us some idea of what we're looking at, too. So that's the moon.
Uh-huh. And then there's some activity there. But, okay, so I'm facing east right now. And then the moon is south.
Okay.
And then this will be, well, just right of the moon is west. But I'm seeing a lot right around in the west and then right here.
Okay, because right now I don't see anything, but I'm really looking. Do you have overcast skies? Is it clear out? What is it right now?
Oh, it's crystal clear, and it saddens me that you don't that it's not picking up, because if I zoom in, and you can't zoom in on TikTok, I don't think.
Yeah, unfortunately, TikTok needs to straighten that out, but that's another story.
Okay, well, here's one I feel like you could see, possibly.
Oh yeah,
There.
there's right there. What's that light?
Well, okay, so here's the moon,
This moon.
and there's
I
that.
think that could be a planet, though.
Okay, can you see that? You can't, can you? That
I know
makes
there's
me
a
so
planet.
sad.
I see the planet from the moon. That's one of them. I think that's either Mars or Venus.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
that
there's a
I think is a
planet close
planet from
to
my
that.
perspective.
You think?
Yeah, there's the
Well,
moon.
gosh, God, I cannot zoom in, and I'm so sad. Do you see that?
Hmm. Now I see that. What is that?
Well, that's weird. Hold on.
Well, she's moving her camera. So when you say it's moving, her camera's moving actually.
I'm gonna leave it there
So
because
right
I'm
there.
kind of. There it is. I'm gonna leave it there for a minute. We're just gonna wait for a second.
Yeah, I think that's either Mars or Venus, one or the other. If it just if it starts taking off or moving, then we'll know.
Okay. I got one more over here. I want to try, and this would be north. I'm looking north. Hold on.
You're looking north now. Okay.
You see any of that?
And I know it's tough because TikTok doesn't. And what are we looking at now? Because I don't really see anything. But
You don't see anything, but I wish you could. It's crazy what I mean, if I could
I know you're probably
be
seeing
the
something.
link.
Yeah.
Now, to me, what I'm looking at, it's an S, and it's a line of it's just a line of lights that are blinking.
A line of lights that are blinking.
Yeah, I mean,
And even though we don't.
go ahead.
Hmm. Red Jen sings, I see a faint dot. Let me take my glasses off here for a minute. Yeah, I wish we can zoom in. I wish we had the technology on TikTok to do that, but they don't. Yeah,
Sorry, Commander. Like, I wish you could see what I see.
I wish we
If I
could.
if
And you know
I
what?
take videos of it, like,
Yeah,
I mean, I could post a couple of videos right now, but like, all I did was zoom in on my camera, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so much going on.
yeah. Some people, Peggy says I see it, um,
I'll
and
look
I
at the
just don't see
picture.
anything. It's not because I don't want to. I just don't see anything. Hey, Half Pint. Hey, Mary and Ray. Good to see you up there in Pennsylvania. And I know where you're sitting. If like, I'm sure if I was right there looking above the lake, I would probably see the lights that you're seeing. But again, with TikTok, they limit the ability to zoom in on the sky. So it makes it kind of difficult that way, unfortunately.
Wow, that makes me sad. Cause
Yeah. I wish we could see something. I see that dot. Is that below the moon? Because that is either Venus or Mars. If it's diagonally from the moon, that's a planet.
right, yeah, that is. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
there's
that's a
two of
planet.
them. There's the one below, right around there, but this one seems awfully low.
Yeah, that's a planet there. There's the moon. The planet's right below it.
Do you see one under that?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, I hate to be a bummer, but
Yeah. If you have a video, can you send me a copy of the video of what you're seeing?
yes. Yeah, I just took a
Yeah.
couple of them.
Yeah. If you send me the video, I'll take a look at it. And if like it's clear enough on the video, make a caption or something of what it is we're looking at.
Okay, I will. I will
Sounds
do
good.
that. Okay,
And then
later.
if it's in the video moving around or whatever it's doing,
Mm-hmm.
I'll share it on my Ashtar Spaceship News on my
Okay.
TikTok here.
Okay. Thank
All
you,
right,
sir.
Kimberly.
Bye.
Hey, thank you for coming up. All right, let's see what's going on here. So we are doing interviews. I wish you know we could have seen something, but you know me, I'm very straight honest with you. If I don't see anything, I'm not going to say I see something because that would not be right to do that either. So we keep it very honest here. But I do believe she's seeing stuff. It's hard with the TikTok thing. You can't go zooming into the sky, so it makes it difficult. User 567, welcome. And if you are having sightings or visitations with space people, we'd love to hear your story. This is Encounters. I'm your host, CmdrAleon. And I know, Will, you're there too. We'll get to a number of people. There's been a bunch of requests to come up. I'm also looking for the gentleman who works at Area 51. I don't know if he's going to be on tonight. He was on. He was on last night when I did the thing I was doing, and I told him about the show tonight. Jay, welcome to the program. Let's see here. Hey, Gary, good to see you. Good evening, everybody. Luis Hernandez, everybody coming in here. So, if you've got a good story for me of something happening, who is the boss in space? There's no boss in space. There are many civilizations in space from different planetary worlds, many different groups in space from many different planets. Hey, Johnny, that exists, but there's no boss. There's not a boss in space. Jackie, good to see you. Christina, good to see you. Welcome. Oh, there's not what you call loss. So user 567, I think you're new to the subject. So there are many dimensions, many galaxies, solar systems, but there's not a boss in space. There is a galactic grouping, like you have a United Nations in space. There's a thing called the Ashtar Command, which is the overseer of all the planetary systems of light, but there's no what you call a boss in space. There's universal law, but it's not like you have Earth-based laws saying you're speeding at 65 miles an hour in a 20-mile-an-hour zone. Uh, there's a lot of different things going on there. Can we see them all? You have to get spiritually, cosmically meditating, and you have to learn a few things on the subject to get there. User 327, so many things are happened in my dreams. They are visiting me. Everybody follow user 327766199. I'm going to pin you right now here. Wait a minute. I want to get her up to 200. User 3277661991544. So many things happened. So many things happened in my dreams. They are visiting me. I want to get her on here. She needs only over 20 plus more people to follow her. I want to hear her story. I know there's a story here. I get it. I want to hear that story. Peggy says Galactic Federation of Light. Let's see here. I always told my friends, G. Vanali, I think it is. I told my friends, no man is writing down or sends in the clouds, no boss. So everybody follow her. And we're going to get her up here. User 327. I gotta pin her again. User 327. Oh, good. Keep her pinned. My moderators are pinning her. That's good. Let me see where she is here. She's at 192. We're really close. And user 32776199. If I can get a first name, once we get on here, we'll have you on audio as a guest. You're at 192 followers. You're really close to 200, and we're going to bring you on encounters. Everybody follow her. Also, please share and like. We want to get to 100,000, likes tonight. So we need everybody to tap on my screen. When you tap on my screen, if you've never done that before, you're not going to break your cell phone. Just tap on the screen, tap really quick, and we can bring up the numbers. That's all you have to do. That's how you bring up the numbers on the likes on the 25.5 when it says K in that corner. If you tap, that increases the likes on the show. Let's see where she is. She's at 199. We're going to bring her on. Oh, well done, everybody. Well done. And we'll have her on any second now. This is great. This is what I love. And good evening. Welcome to Encounters, the #1 spiritual UFO talk show on social media.
Hello.
Hello. And what's your first name?
I'm Amashe Shiba. I'm from Swaziland, but I stay in South Africa.
Your name is, can you say your name again? I'm sorry.
Amashe Angel Shiba.
Amashe Abashiba. And where are you located? Where are you located?
Yeah, I'm from Swaziland, but I stay in South Africa.
You're from where?
I'm from Swaziland, but I stay in South Africa.
South Africa. Okay. Welcome to the show.
Thank
So
you. Thank you so much.
tell us about your dreams. You really, your sense caught my attention. Tell us about your dreams, and you're saying you're being visited by space people. Can you tell us what's going on when it started?
Yes. They visited me, like so many of them. I can say like that. In my dreams,
In your
I saw,
dreams?
yes, so many things happening in my dreams. I can say like that.
Can you
Uh,
tell us
um,
when did it start? When did it start happening?
Maybe from now I can say it. It started when I was young, but I notice it now. Maybe it take me
Mm-hmm.
2 years from now to notice it that this thing is getting serious. Okay, because now I'm old enough and I notice a lot about my dreams.
Mm-hmm. And in these
Yeah.
dreams, can you tell us what the space people look like? Do you know what they look like?
Yeah, I can tell you like that. I can tell you one of my dreams. I found myself like I was in another place, like I was in a camp or something like that. It was like a camp or something like that. Uh, there are different people. Like maybe you can see like a person. She can have a human body and a head like a creature head like that. You see,
Mm-hmm. So they have
they are
they
different.
have a
They are
human body,
different.
correct?
Yeah, they can. Maybe you can see a dog like that. Maybe you have the head of a dog, a human body like that.
Huh.
They are different. They are different peoples. They are not the same. Like.
So they're all
And when
different.
I was
They don't. All your encounters in your dream don't. What's going on here? That's really
yeah
interesting.
yeah on that camp, another creature was holding my hand. Okay, like there were so many. Like they were in group going with me outside the gate. And I noticed when I was about at the gate, there is a house there. When I look at the door, there was the pictures of the space. When you can see the people that wear the suit from the space like that. But the picture, when I noticed the picture there, the picture started to move. And when I focused to another picture, the picture started to move like dancing like that. That like the picture was alive like
Hmm.
that. When I put my focus on that picture, then
And
we got out.
are they communicate? I mean, obviously, you talk about the picture. In this dream where you're having contact with these space people, they're all different types. Or do some of them look like us, like a human type person, and some don't?
I did not see some that are looking like us, but they were different like that. Others they are
Different.
small. Yes,
They're
others were small.
small.
The one that was holding my head was so small, wearing black, small hand like that,
Hmm.
wearing black and holding my hand when we were going like in group
Hmm.
going outside the gate. They were talking each other, and in that dream, I was having a decision to let go of the hand or to hold on to the hand. Like
Hmm.
they were wanted to show me something, you see, and I was covering myself with a scarf, a crochet scarf like that. It was like
Hmm.
gray black, but there was a small hole that I was seeing
Hmm.
looking at that all. And then we were going on the road. We were going on the road outside from the camp. We saw so many cats there on the road. The cats started to follow us. Okay,
Hmm.
we go, and we enter inside the bush. When we enter inside the bush, I saw two boats like that.
Hmm. So
Another
in this
side,
dream, in your
it was on.
dream,
Yeah,
yes. So I've talked to people that have had dreams where they're having encounters with non-terrestrial or space beings. This is encounters. I'm your host, by the way, CmdrAleon, just to let people know here on the show. So in these dreams, you're having these real physical encounters in the dream. And are they teaching you anything? Are they giving you a message? Are they trying to uh, tell you something or give you some information? And also, we have the spicy artistic. We know we're going to have them on here to share their story in a few minutes. But
they
can
were
you tell
giving
us?
me a, they were giving
Say,
me a message. Okay.
and what is the message they're giving you?
Okay, inside my dream. Then when I saw the two boats there, it was so big, like on the air. Okay, two of them. Then we started to fly, but we did not enter the boat. Okay, I saw that these are aliens because the boat I saw it on the air like that.
Hmm.
Then we started to fly. We started to rise up. Like there is a force pulling us up. Okay, and the creature is holding my hand also.
Hmm.
When we on top of like top, I started to fly. She let go of my hand, and the scarf pulled with air, go back like that, and I saw
Hmm.
like I can say the universe or I saw everything. I was on top
So
flying, having
so when
so
he
many like
so
mm,
the space being you was holding your hand. And then,
yeah.
and when the space being was holding your hand, was it in dream? Was he holding your hand? Were you already off planet on a spaceship when he was holding your hand? Where were you?
We did not enter the space, the airport, the spaceship like that. We did not enter inside. Like we were flying on the
You were
air.
flying.
Okay. When I was up and up, I feel myself that I can fly on my own. Then she
Mm-hmm.
let go of my hand. She let
Mm-hmm.
go of my hand. I fly on my own, and then
You're flying your own.
I found myself I was alone at that time, flying
Mm-hmm.
around.
Mm-hmm.
There was a message. There was someone was writing me a message down. Like when I reached, like when I looked down, the place was like a desert or something, having a
Mm-hmm.
soft sand like that. When I looked down, like I saw that something like is trying to uh, take my attention. I saw a message there. Someone was writing a message, but I did not see anyone, like an invisible person or
Right.
what. I'm no one
Invisible
like that.
person. Now you mentioned writing a
Yeah,
message. Can you tell us what the
yeah.
message is? Did you get whatever the message is in that dream? And I always talked about this, folks. We call cosmic dreams, where a person actually is not dreaming, but having an out of this world experience. So we think of dreams as being something like you see a bunch of M&M chocolates running around in your dream, and they hit a marshmallow. So that would be like a regular dream. What you're having is more of a cosmic dream, which is a reality that maybe the human 3D mind can't understand. But when you say you were getting a message, can you tell our audience what that message was you were getting in the dream?
Yes, I can tell them, no problem. Like someone, she, he was or she was writing with some big words like down there. I can read it when I was top flying there, and I read if he writes like me, okay, you, and then he writes again you, me, okay, and then he writes again I love you. Like the person was trying to tell me like we are one, like that, something. Me, I'm still the same person as he,
Mm-hmm.
and he's still the same person as I am.
So they're saying, if
Yes,
I can translate what you're saying, I think what you're saying over there in South Africa is, in the dream, the being was
yes,
saying, "I love you."
yes, and he was telling me the same thing, like we are one, okay, I'm still the
We are
same
one.
person as he. Yes, and he is still he's still the same person as I, like
Mm-hmm.
that.
So it's
Yes,
saying the being was saying, "I love you." I'm translating for our audience if they don't understand what you're saying. I'm listening really carefully, and they're saying it said, "I love you," and then the being says, "We are all one." Correct?
yes, I
Okay.
can say like that.
Mm-hmm. Very,
And
very
then,
interesting.
yeah. Then I heard a voice talking to me when I was finding myself in like a big place. Like it was a hospital or what. Someone was sick there. The person, I don't know the person, but it's like the person is a celebrate or something like that. He's a man
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
having a gray hair like that. He was lying on a bed on the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Someone, I heard a voice, someone telling me like I had to heal him or something like that. Okay, I have to talk to him, like talk to the person that is inside of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. So,
Yeah.
I appreciate that your dream, because I think, I think and I usually have my headphones on, but I'm not wearing them tonight because they're not working. But I can hear you. My voice is coming over your phone. I'm very amped up here, so I do affect people's technology sometimes, but I do hear what you're saying. And is this like, are these dreams constant? Do they continually happen with you all the time?
Yes, and some stars people visited me once while I was sleeping in my room. I
Mm-hmm.
can wake up inside. I can wake up inside my dream. Like I can control my dream.
You
I
can
can
control
wake
it.
up. Yes, I can wake up while I still dreaming. And I know that I'm I dreaming inside that dream.
Oh, let me
Okay.
ask you something. You say you wake
Yes.
up And you're dreaming, but you wake physically up. When you wake up, do you see space
Yes,
people in your
yes.
room?
Yes, they come inside my room,
Ah,
like my windows was like open like that,
the
you
window's
see,
open.
and I can see stars outside my room,
Mm-hmm.
and they came like they were wearing like the girl was wearing a jumpsuit, a black leather jumpsuit on
Like a
the neck,
jumpsuit.
like on the
She,
yes, black. On the neck there is a yellow like V, something like that,
mm-hmm.
and wearing some gold. And
Interesting.
on the arms there is gold like that,
Mm-hmm.
gold lines like that. Yes,
So let
they
me
came.
let me let me explain something. I'm really listening to your dream. What were you talking about? So when you said you woke up and you were still in the dream, you actually did
Yeah,
wake up and there were space people. This woman was in your room. You had the window open. Let me explain something.
yeah.
You're not dreaming. You're actually, when you just mentioned that, I had to listen
Mm,
really carefully to your story.
yeah.
It was meant to be looking like a dream, but you're not having a dream. When that woman was standing there in that what you call a jumpsuit, that's her space suit. You were taken probably on a spaceship. Do you remember any of
Mm,
that?
no, I did not remember
Yeah, you were
any of
taken
that.
on a
Just
spaceship.
like they were so happy, like to talk to me. Okay,
Yes.
we were just talking, and I asked them, "Where are you guys? Where are you coming from?" Okay, they say
Yes.
they are coming from they are coming from the stars, and I told them that, yo guys, I like stars so much. I always look
Mm-hmm.
up there, and you are looking so beautiful out there. Telling them that.
Mm-hmm.
And we were laughing, sharing like conversation, because when I go to sleep at that time, I was like so angry like that, but
Mm-hmm.
inside my dream, I was so happy, you see. I was
Yes.
so happy. Yes. Talking to them,
So
and
let me.
they
What they
give
give
me a
you?
chain.
They change your consciousness.
Huh? They give me a chain
They
as
gave
a
you a
gift,
chain. They
a
gave you a
gold
gift.
chain,
Oh, okay.
a
They
gold
gave you a
chain.
physical gift. Okay.
But I don't have it now. They give me inside my dream. Like when they give me, they did not give me with like hand to hand. The chain was coming, floating on the air towards me. Okay, like that.
Mm-hmm.
Gold chain, so beautiful gold chain like that.
And when you woke up and you have your window open, when you go to sleep, you have your window open, correct? Do you have your window
No,
open?
I saw my window and stars outside my window. I did not saw it when I wake up that the window was open.
When you woke
And
up, you had the window closed. When you woke up, the window was open. Is that what you're saying?
no, no, not like that. It was I saw it open while I was inside my dream,
Oh, and the
and
dream was
I
open.
saw
But when you woke up, you did wake up at one point. You said you woke up. Was the window closed when you woke up?
like when I wake up inside my dream or when I wake up physical.
When you physically woke up.
No, no, it was still the
Mm,
same. It
okay.
was
But
still the
but you had
same.
the visitation of the woman. Was that when you woke up during the dream?
Yeah, yeah, I can
See,
say
that's
like
what I'm
that.
saying. That
And
was the physical. Yeah.
last week I can say like on on clouds. Okay, at night I can see some wild animals make up of the like shape like using the clouds like that. You can see that this is a lion, this is a wolf, this is a
Hmm.
what. So when inside my dream I'm trying to
Right.
show another people that
Yeah.
hey, look at that, look at that. The other people cannot see it. Okay,
Yeah.
and they cannot see anything. I'm the only one that I can see it. And some
Yeah.
numbers also. The clouds can write some numbers to me, and I can see that
Hmm.
this is 5, this is 5. And some words also, like mixed words like that.
Yeah.
Write a message to me like that. Yeah.
Are you out in the country area? Are you in an area where there's like a village or like a country area?
What?
Are you outside of the city? Are you in the country? Like in a rural area? Like trees, not too many things around. Are you in an open area, like a country area?
I'm in
Yeah.
a local area like that in South
Yeah, local area.
Africa.
Like
There's
there's
a river.
like do you have
There
trees
is a
and
river next
mountains?
to me. Some trees. There's a river. There's some trees also next to me
Okay.
where I live. Yeah,
Okay. All right.
yeah.
Well, user 327, I want to thank you for sharing your story. And pronounce your name again. Let's say what your first name is again.
I'm a Shiva, and I can say
Amashashiba.
like yes. Last week I can say they visited me also
Last
like
week.
a wolf like that. Huh?
So you got visited last week, correct?
Yes, yes. They like a wolf. Do you see a wolf? I saw a wolf like it was shaped with a white one, but like white under, like
Mm-hmm.
black on top. It was
Hmm.
shaped with a cloud. And when I'm coming outside my room and look up and I can see the wolf, like it was shaped with a cloud there. And I said, "Oh, a wolf!" I'm trying to show the
Mm-hmm.
person that I was with.
Mm-hmm.
I was with, and the person did not see it. The wolf become alive like that. I can see
Mm-hmm.
it coming towards me, and there were two people next to the wolf. They having the head
Mm-hmm.
of a wolf, a
Hmm.
body of a person, and the wolf also, the dead one. They
Mm-hmm.
come, they come here at home like that inside my dream. And when they come, like there was an aerial, something like that, on top of
Mm-hmm.
another, of another small shape like that. Yeah.
Interesting.
And
You're
the
very
aerial,
fascinating.
something,
Yeah.
something, something told me like I have to touch the aerial while they are coming down. I
Mm-hmm.
touch the aerial, and they also touch the aerial also. And then I saw air like a lightning, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That started to fall from my head, between like from my head down, down, down like that, through
Mm.
my stomach down. Like they were activating something like I don't know. I don't know.
We're gonna have to have you on again. I want to thank you for being on here from South Africa, and we'll have you on again. I thank you so much. I'm not going to retry to pronounce your name, but I appreciate everything.
Yeah,
You're a
yeah.
fascinating person.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much because these things they are confusing me sometimes because they do not come in the same way. Like I can look at my cloud and see
Hmm.
that these people are coming there. Even the waters, they are taking me to go underwater also.
Hmm.
They are coming to take
Hmm.
me to go to meet them underwater,
Yeah.
other people. Yes,
So
yes. They
I think you're having uh, interactions with space people. In truth, that they're showing you different
yeah.
things, and I think you're
Yes.
having contact with space people. I'm actually absolutely certain that you're having
Yeah.
contact. We're gonna have to have you on again. You're just an amazing person, and if you're going underwater,
Yeah.
they're probably taking you in a ship underwater. You're going in a
No.
spaceship.
No, not underwater.
No,
Not the same. Like, not the
is it?
same as alien. Not the same as alien on water. I was once taken by some mermaids on water. They take me. I was floating on the water, floating. I was not drowning, floating like something was the force. There was a force under me that was taking me going on top of the water, going on top of the water, and I go there to their home. But the home is
Uh,
like this, like that.
what were you
How many?
taken by mermaids? Mermaids? Does that make sense? Mer people, mermaids,
Yes, yes. But when I reach their
mermaids.
home, when I reach their home, they are real people like us. They were no longer fish again. They were fish on the water when I saw them. When I reach their home, I meet them there again. The people that took me, they were
Yeah,
human people, like walking with their feet.
walking with their feet.
Yes, yes, yes.
This is, okay. So before I get to the other guests, I'm not spicy autistic. Thank you for being patient. So you're taken underwater. You met humans that have just like us. with their feet.
Yes.
And when they took you, did they take you in some sort of thing or kind of craft, or did they take you just in the water and you were able to breathe with them?
I was like there was something under me. Okay, I did not drown down. They were taking me like I can see them far away that these people, they were doing something to me because
Mm,
I was floating. I was floating down the river, floating like the water. I touched the water, small,
yeah.
floating, and I started to relax. That something is happening. I'm not going alone here. Something is like carrying me or something like. But I'm going on top of the water like that,
Oh,
like
you're on
that,
top
like
of the
that.
water. Okay. So you were on top
Yes,
of the
yes,
water and you were in a river on top of the water. Okay. And there were
yes.
these humans
And then
that
I
were
found.
taking you to where they were
Yes,
under the water, correct?
yes. And then I found myself entering their home. After that.
You you went to their home under the water.
Yes.
And what did
Oh,
their
I
homes
went
look like?
maybe 3 or 4 times going to visit them there.
Hmm.
Yes, yes, yes. They can come
What?
take me.
So they these humans that took you you were floating on the river and they took you to their home. What did they look? I mean,
Yes.
what did their homes look like? Did they have their homes look advanced? What did their homes look like?
Like when I enter their house, like down there is a like there is a like they cut some grass. Do you see grass? They cut it and they just put it down like a mat or something like that, like a mat.
Hmm.
Put it
Hmm.
down on the floor. When I enter their house, like when I enter, I saw some animals. It was not dogs, like a goat. And then,
Hmm.
but the goat was pretending like a dog. Do you see a dog when he's happy to see their owners and lie down, like
Hmm.
playing with their feet like
Hmm.
that, lie down? Yes, like that. Yeah. When I enter there, and then when I was standing there, there were so many people there,
So
and
let me slow you down. So you went into their home, and in their home there were
yes.
so many people. Was the home really? Was it a big home? I mean, if there's a lot of people, it's got to be big, right?
Yeah, yeah, I can say like that because I entered the house. There were people inside. Okay,
Mm.
there were people inside the house. When I stand there, the people that took me because it was like two children, a boy and a girl, and
A boy and a
like
girl.
another lady that's like maybe 25 or to 26 years. I can say like
Right.
that. The people that
Right.
took me, they were three. They
Did
came
they?
inside the
Did
house
the
also following me.
Did the adults look young? Like the adults that took you? Did they look like in their 20s and 30s?
The young ones, there were two young people and
Mm-hmm.
one old, maybe 27 or 26 like that,
Mm-hmm.
and late. Yes,
And
I saw
so,
them then. Yes,
so
they
people
came
are
to me.
asking. People are asking you, did they look like us? Like, did they look like us?
Yes, yes,
Yes.
yes.
Okay.
They were black people. They were black people. They were black people.
Okay.
Then they came and I said, "Ha, you guys, you are the ones that took me. I saw you inside the water. You were having tails there. Now you are walking with your feet." They came to me and they laughed. They were so
Mm-hmm.
happy.
Mm-hmm.
And then they kneel before me and they said, "No, my grandfather is calling me to another room there."
Mm-hmm. And
Yes.
were these people wearing regular clothes, or were they wearing space outfits? Do you remember?
No, 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 no. They were not wearing like space like that. I can say
Okay.
maybe they were tying some wrap like that. They did not
Mm-hmm.
wear some space. Yes, yes, yes. And they told me that
Interesting.
grandfather is calling me, and then they show me another door I have to enter, and then I go there and I enter. When I enter, I saw the grandfather and they sitting down like on a chair like a throne, like he is a king or something like that. I can say like that.
Okay.
There is another grandmother sitting beside him, okay, and another people sitting like around like that. When I entered, they said, "Yeah, yes, we are waiting for you." When I entered, they are inside inside the room. Inside the room, there are some white cloth hanging there. White cloth. The grandfather also wearing white clothes like that, having gray hair, having gray hair like that. I can say yes, but he was black also, a black
Well,
person.
so this group of people were different than the young woman that you saw wearing the black space outfit that was in your room that you talked about earlier. These are two different. This is another different group, correct?
Yes. It's another
Okay.
different group.
So you're
Yeah.
having contact with different types of beings that are different
Yes.
groups.
Yes.
You're having multiple different situations occurring.
Yes. Even some big snakes take me like down that time. Like I was going like in a white pipe, When I visited for the second time down on the water. It was not easy, serious. I was so scared. I was so scared. Some big snakes. Inside the dam, like in the dream, I was
Interesting.
near. Like in the dream, I was near on my hometown in Swaziland because I'm from Swaziland. Okay.
Mhm. All
Like
right.
I can say yes.
Well,
I,
we're going to. I'm going to have to absorb all your information. I remember everything you're saying. I think you're a fascinating person. I want to really thank you for being here. We'll have you on again for sure. But you really have told some interesting things here that I get perspectives about so many different experiences happening. Very fascinating story. So I want to thank you for joining us tonight on Encounters for the first time from South Africa.
yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for having me, guys. Thank
Oh, you've been a pleasure. You've been a pleasure. Everyone say, just a round of applause for you sharing what you shared. That's what the show's about. And we totally loved it. It was just great to have you on here.
yeah, thank you, guys.
All right.
Thank
And
you.
I'm following you. So, everyone else can follow you too. I'm following you now too. And now we're going to get to the spicy autistic. Welcome to the show. And thank you for being patient on Encounters.
That's okay, no problem.
So tell me where you are and what's happening, what's happened with you in terms of this whole thing, subject-wise.
I'm from Australia,
Oh, welcome.
and yeah, thank you. And I grew up in a forest, and there was a few things that happened in sort of that area over my childhood, but there are sort of other people's stories until later on when I'll tell you just a couple of stories that I have. My mum said one night she heard this rumbling over the house, and so she had her sort of inkling that something was happening. My brother swears that one night he woke up and he said we were being dragged along the back, like we were being dragged by some creature.
Can
And
you
I
can
looked
you bring
across.
your can you bring your camera on? Do you know how to use the camera on the TikTok at all, or is it possible?
I don't think so. There's no option to do it.
Yeah, you have an option. Yeah, so I'm going to help
Oh,
you out here. I've done this before, so
oh,
you're
here you
going to
go.
see some.
Here you
You
go.
got
Yeah. Hang on. I
it
think
should
so.
turn you on. You have to
Yeah.
save it. You unlock the camera and it'll put you on the screen.
Is that me?
Yes, you are. You did it. See, great. So it's nice to
So,
have people
excuse
on.
me.
That's
I have
okay.
a disabled child, so I've been up all night.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
No.
But
She's gorgeous. She's a non-speaking autistic, beautiful child.
okay,
Um,
beautiful.
yeah. So Mum told me that story. Then my brother tells me this other story where he woke up and we were like, he said, I looked across and you were next to me and we were being dragged through the backyard. And he said, you looked like you were asleep. And so I just sort of closed my eyes and that's all he tells me. And then I don't remember anything particularly happening. Our friends of ours, when we were like late teens, 18,
Hmm.
two boys, swore that they got abducted up in the hills. They said that they were out, like kids in the hills do. They were drinking and they saw this light, and then they have no memory, and then they were dumped like in the bush. One guy was completely dumped in the middle of the road. Another guy was under like some sticks, like a tent kind of stick thing.
Yeah.
And to this day, like I can even ask them now, and he would go, "Yeah, I'm not lying to you." Anyway, fast forward, I'm 19 and I'm up north in Western Australia, and my sister's telling me how there's lots of UFO sightings up north in Western Australia. And this particular story, which was just captivating, about these nurses that are going out to a station, and before you go to a station, you've got a call because it takes hours. So if anything happens, they know that you're on the road. And so this light was coming towards them, and they said it was coming directly towards their car, and they thought it might be a truck. So it didn't see them or whatever. So they pulled over, and they said the light came off the road, went over the car, and disappeared.
Wow.
And they just kept driving. This is what my sister was telling me while we were up there. And I was like, oh. And then they got to the station, and everybody was really upset and saying, where were you? Where were you? And they said, we just pulled over for like a couple of minutes because this really weird thing happened. They said, well, you're like 3 hours late. So they had lost time. So my sister's telling me this, and I'm like, yes, can we see them? I was so excited, right?
Yeah.
And she goes, look, if they are around, I can feel them. She said, I know that they're there. So if it does, I will let you know. Anyway, this one night, she says, I think they're about tonight. So we go out into the middle of basically the desert. Is my phone's being weird? Sorry, my battery's low, so I'll try and keep this.
It only can happen on my show with weird things, so don't worry.
Okay, so I go out with my sister, and she's like, they're about, and there was an electrical storm, so there wasn't a cloud in the sky, and along the like horizon was just lightning. It was just amazing. And we're looking at the sky, and she goes, there's one. And I said, I don't see anything. And she goes, just take in the whole sky, and when you see something move, just hone in on that thing.
Right.
And so I did, and I saw one. It was flying around the sky, and then there was another one. It was flying around the sky. And then one stopped above us, and she said, it stopped. And I said, I know, I can see that. And she goes, don't look at it. Don't look at it. I said, I'm not going to take my eyes off it. Are you kidding me? And I grabbed her hand. I said, if I go, you're coming with me. And then we just kind of screamed and ran inside. And that's what I saw. Fast forward 20 years. I'm in Melbourne. I've moved. I'm living in Melbourne. I come out of the news agency one day. And I'm just going to get some phone credit. And I come out and I see this thing that looks like a silver matte balloon, like a helium balloon in the distance, because the way it's floating. And I'm like, oh, some kids lost their balloon, right? So I look at it, it gets brighter, 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 until it's right in the sky. Like I'm looking at it in the sky, and it's flying around in front of me, and it looks like a mirror, like reflecting the sun.
Really?
And it's flying around, flying around, flying around. Then another one comes in, and the two of them are flying around, flying around, flying around. I always say it's like an adolescent alien has stolen their parents' UFO. They're just playing. and it's there in front of me, and I didn't know, my mind just went blank. It was like my mind shuffled through all the things that it could possibly be.
Yeah.
And I felt this kind of, I don't know what this is. And so I just remember going blank, and I don't often go blank. And I was just standing there staring at it. And then the two of them turned matte black against the sky. And I remember them turning matte black and thinking, this isn't right. That shouldn't be possible. Like
your mind saying this is impossible. This shouldn't be happening, right?
Black against the sky. No.
Yeah.
When they were shiny, it was fine. They're reflecting the sun. That makes sense in a way. They went matte black, and they were still, and I was like, I felt like I was in a Petri dish. I felt like I was being watched, and I felt not a good feeling. I felt a little, I felt like I was like, I'm being watched, and I don't like this. And then it looked like they spun, and they went bright again, and they were gone.
So they were spinning. At one point, they started spinning like in a circle, and then they disappeared.
No, it just looked like it's hard to explain. They were black, and then it looked like they opened up again, like they had. I don't
Hmm.
know, showed another face or something. It was beyond words to
How
me
big?
at that point.
How low were the objects and how big were they? Do you remember?
Not really. They were in the sky, like above me. In From where I was, I can't really tell you how big they
Hmm.
were. They weren't
Hmm.
huge, but they were like very bright.
They're very
Anyway,
bright.
I went into the local cafe and I like told them I was in shock. And the woman's like, have you been drinking today? No, no, no. Have you have have you hit your head? Are you okay? Are you taking drugs? And I was like, no, no, I'm completely
Right.
sober. I've just come from work, right?
Right.
Anyway, that night I go to sleep and I have a
Hmm.
dream.
Hmm.
And I'm in like a doctor's office or a nurse's
Okay.
office, and I'm
Mhm.
sitting in a medical situation,
Right.
and there's a nurse there, right? And she's
Hmm.
very friendly, sort of non-threatening, matronly kind of woman.
Hmm.
And I feel like I'm drugged. I feel like I'm kind of being given something to make me compliant.
Hmm.
And she says to me, "We're just going to take some blood." And I went, "I don't want you to do
Hmm.
that." And she goes, "It's okay, it's okay." And I remember thinking, "Oh yeah, it's fine," and kind of just relaxing and thinking, like,
Right.
I feel like I had been drugged. So I
Hmm.
put up my arm. Like expecting to get like a needle in the,
Right.
in the where you get it. Usually they take blood from
Hmm.
your elbow. Yeah, the front part of your elbow. I don't know what that's called.
Yeah.
I'm expecting that. And she comes out and she's got one of those kidney stainless steel dishes with this
Hmm.
needle that I've never
Needles.
seen like before. It
Hmm.
was a needle, and it was
Nothing
like
like ever.
sorry?
There's nothing like you've ever seen when you say that. Nothing like an Earth-based needle.
It kind of looked like one, but it had this. It didn't have a needle on the end. It had the bit that collects the blood,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it didn't have the needle bit. It had this long, thin, pliable, metal-ish thing
Okay.
on the end, right? And
Hmm.
instead of putting it in where I thought it was, she put it
Hmm.
into my wrist,
Your
right?
wrist.
Yeah, she put it down the end near my wrist. And I was thinking, what is that? I've never seen anyone do that. I found out later that it's actually to test gases in your blood.
Really?
Because, yeah, I looked it up. I was like, I wonder if this is actually a medical thing. And I had never heard of it. So, yeah, so that happened. And the next day I was teaching and I was telling my students, and they were all having, I like to tell stories, so I was telling them about
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
story.
Yeah.
And one of the girls left, and she said to me as I left, "Miss, you need psychiatric help." And I was like, "Oh,
Oh, she
whatever,
said that to
okay,
you.
yeah, yeah." And then as I was leaving the class, they had all left. That same girl dragging her friend up beside her said, "Miss, she saw them too." And so me and this
Hmm.
girl had a really brief conversation. She was really scared. I wasn't particularly scared, but she
Hmm.
was really scared about it all. Yeah, so that was that
What year?
experience.
What year? What year did that happen?
I think it was 2006. I think it was
2006.
2006.
So let me ask
Yeah, it
you,
was
can you tell me what they looked like that were doing this? Did you have any visuals of them?
uh, no, just the woman who was like a matronly nurse type.
Hmm.
Just she was like a matronly nurse, that kind of. I don't know where it must have been. I get the feeling that it wasn't her real form, if you know what I mean. She was just being
Hmm.
non-threatening. There was a feeling
Right,
of you're not being threatened. Just
right.
relax.
So just relax. You're not being threatened. And what you just said, I think, is interesting, everybody. You just said that you didn't think this was her actual form, that the visual form she was showing you was to make you feel at peace or comfortable, correct?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So that's why
So
when
if
I
you had a,
hear like
mhm.
stories about
Did you?
terrifying aliens, I don't believe it. I don't think that they
Yeah.
want to hurt us
Well,
or even
aliens don't
scare us at
exist, but
all.
there are space people. Aliens is just a human term that we use here on Earth. That does. It's just what Hollywood does. So this. Let's say it were, which I'm getting from listening to your story, that it is extraterrestrial intelligence. It takes the form of
Uh-huh.
looking very non-threatening. If you were to go deep within yourself on this, if you saw this woman right now the way she was dressed. Would you say if she was in her true, if it was in its true form, would it look human to you? What were you getting? Anything about that at any point?
Yeah, she looked human.
She does look human.
She looked human.
So,
She does. She did.
was there any? Did you get any kind of indication here on Encounters? This is the show Encounters. If you're just coming in here, we're on nightly here at 11 o'clock Eastern in the U.S. And did you ever get an inkling later on, as you were thinking about what happened in this experience? Like, did they talk to you? Was there any telepathic communications? Did she say anything as to where she came from, what her purpose was, or anything?
No,
Mm-hmm.
she just was very reassuring, and it's okay. Don't worry about it. It's
Mm-hmm. Don't
fine.
worry about it.
That kind of feeling like nothing's going to hurt you. I do have one more story that
Yeah.
happened in reality.
Okay.
Which was and not in a dream state, which is a pretty big story. I have how do I explain this?
Mm-hmm.
My ancestors go back to the Tuatha De Danann in Ireland, so the fairies or whatever.
The fairies. Okay.
Yeah. So Tuatha De Danann was like this magical group of people who ended up living under the earth in Ireland. They were given the underground, and the other set of people were given above ground. So, but I've been very interested in my background, and I wrote a musical about my ancestors, and I had an out of body experience with my ex-husband. Whilst we were making love, I came out of my body, and I saw all of my ancestors standing in a massive group. And mind you, I've been meditating since I was like 16. I really need it for my anxiety, so I started meditating quite young. So this crowd appears before me, and the man at the front steps forward and said, "We all came before you so you could be right where you are." And then I was like back in my body, down like a wormhole or something, sliding back in.
Yeah.
And my husband at the time didn't believe in any of this. And so I didn't want to say anything, but we were both laughing, like giggling.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, I just felt that something must have happened for him. So I just said, "What just happened?" And he said, "We just became one." And I went, "Well, I just saw my ancestors in a massive group." And so that happened to me. Then about in 2018, I went back to Ireland because I was going to talk about sort of being like separated from I'm diaspora, so my great grandparents left because of the famine, and we sort of got separated from our culture, like a lot of people do. And so I have been back there 3 times, and on the 3rd visit, I was with my cousin, and we were on the Hill of Tara, which is a sacred site. I don't really want to tell this story because I don't want people going and hunting around there, but it's a sacred.
You tell what you can without divulging the location. Like what actually happened at the location.
Okay, so a few things happened, but the one thing that happened is there was a tree, and I saw this tree from the distance, and it was beautiful, and I was drawn to it. So I went up to it, and I gave my cousin the phone to take a photo because I was going to climb that tree, which is ridiculous. I'm in my 40s, and there's no way I'm climbing a tree, but I wanted to climb this tree. So I tried to climb it, and I slid straight back down, and I was like, oh. And I thought maybe if I go to the other side of this branch, the branch was about here. So I tried the other side, and I slid back down again, and my cousin was like at the end of the branch, and I turned around. He was on the other side at this time, but I turned around and I stamped my feet and I said, "I can't climb the fairy tree." And at that point, a shadow came over my right shoulder, like something was behind me, and I went to go forward to obviously move away, and I was stopped, and I was in complete stasis, and everything went black, and this symbol came towards me, and the symbol I've got tattooed on my arm, which is this symbol.
Wait a minute. That symbol was tattooed on your arm?
I tattooed it after I saw it.
On your, okay. You saw the
So
symbol, but then you made a tattoo of it. Okay.
yeah. So this symbol came towards me, just so I can remember it, because it was phenomenal. This symbol came towards me. I knew what it meant. It meant seat. It meant seat. It looks like a cutout in a tree stump to sit on. And I didn't really, I don't know if it was a voice or whatever, but I heard something go, or just say, look, just sit back. There's a seat behind you. Just sit back. So what I did was, and I felt completely safe, but I think it took me some convincing because of the way it was like, trust me, just sit back.
Right.
And so I just kind of sat back, and I was up the tree. And at which point I turned like to look at my cousin. He said he had just seen me crack my hissy fit, stamp my feet, and look down to see if the phone was still on, because it was taking me a while. And looked up, and there I was. And he said he may have heard something or whatever. And I was up the tree, and I remember looking at him and going, take the photo. So he took 2 photos of me up this tree. And after that, it kind of felt like, again, like I was protected. Like I didn't feel scared. I felt completely safe, like I had done it 1,000 times before. There was, I can't remember getting down. We watched the sunset on the hill. We forgot about it. We didn't talk about it for about a year, almost like enchanted, I think, like we just didn't.
Let me ask you, you mentioned the word fairies. Did you see fairies in the tree?
When I showed a friend the tree, which I didn't see this straight away, they said, do you realize there's a face behind you on the tree? And now I can see it clearly. I can actually show you the photo if you want.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I've got it up on my wall to remember that things aren't always what they seem.
And for folks sitting here, you're watching the show Encounters. We're on every night at 11 here on TikTok. Let's see. So there you are. You're sitting on the tree there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can. I didn't climb it. There's no way I could climb it, and And if you look behind me on the tree, can you see his face? It's a big face. It's about 2 or 3 times.
I'm gonna bring you on the big screen for a minute here. Hold on a minute. Okay. So where are we looking for the face?
Okay. So, hang on. I've got to get it in a good spot so he's not reflecting.
Okay.
Behind me here, there's eyes. Do you see him? It's hard to see, but once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Yeah, if you just bring the picture right into the camera. So we just let people look at that, and we'll see.
Do you see him?
Oh yeah,
see him smiling? Do you see him smiling?
Eyes?
Yeah.
He has 2 eyes. Yes, I see it.
And you see his big cheesy smile?
Yeah, I see it. I do see it.
Yeah. So I didn't actually see that at first. Yeah, so that's what happened. So over the years, I've had little things happen which just ended up being kind of culminating in this event. And someone said they want to see it. Here, let me just try it. My daughter's getting upset, so I might have to go in a minute. But
okay,
I'll see if I can get it for you. See if I can get it for you.
I'll bring it back. You see the face? It's right above her. It's the dark image.
It's his eyes, and there's a nose, and there's a cheesy smile just here.
You're right there. You can see. Oh, it's below the dark area. I see it. I can see it.
Just behind me. Yep.
Right behind you. Yeah.
And this one I've held on to there's 2 photos. There's this one. And then there's another one where you can see the length of the tree, which I don't have printed, but I've kept that one because this one I kind of played around with in Photoshop to bring out the colors, because once she said there was a face, I was like, where? So I started mucking around with the colors, but the other one's unedited from my camera. So I've always got that as a little bit of proof. So that's my story. I think,
There you go. Wow. Pretty
yeah,
cool.
and
Very cool. Very cool.
yeah, pretty
Thank you.
lucky.
Thank you, River.
Yeah, no
No,
worries.
thank you. And thank you for your story. And what's your first name again?
Francis.
Francis, you've been phenomenal. This is what the show's like. That you won't hear these stories on CNN or NBC, but on my show here, we do this kind of stuff. This is the stuff people need to know about, And I think it's phenomenal that you're having these experiences.
Mm,
And I appreciate all the stories you've told. There's just so many things that people can absorb. I just want to let people know that Francis' story and all the other stories we hear on the show tonight, my show will be recorded and on YouTube by tomorrow. So I have a YouTube channel, and you can all watch Francis and other stories of all the shows we do on YouTube. It's Ashtar Command Spaceship News. Ashtar Command Spaceship News is my YouTube channel. So when I'm not on during the day or something, you can go and watch a bunch of old shows and see it. So we appreciate you, Francis, in
yeah.
Australia coming on here
Thank
for
you for
sure.
having me. I just want to say before I go that you're right about love. That's the key.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Yeah.
And
I
love
had a
and love
whole.
is sometimes very difficult and very hard. So I would just say, just keep
Keep
loving
it.
and
Yeah.
push through and have courage to love, because I do think that love takes a lot of courage.
And if everybody does what I said earlier when I got on here, if everyone lets go of their, of whatever it is, their jealousies, egos, or whatever it is that
Mm,
causes them not to love someone else,
mm-hmm.
let go of it and love that person.
That's it.
And be
Yep.
love. That's what our space people are about. That's where I
Yep.
come from. I came from Mars, and I'm fully conscious when I was a baby.
Mm,
I couldn't verbally speak, but I had many experiences with the spaceships, always reminding me that I didn't come from Earth, and I
yeah.
would never be in a situation where I didn't see something unusual. That every experience I ever had was positive. I never had negative encounters. And then as I got older, I realized the whole thing of being a Christed being of light, which the space people are, the ones that are
Mm,
positive, they are
mm,
Christed beings of light. So
mm,
love is really the
mm.
key. You said, Francis,
Yeah, and
if we
someone
all
just said
learn love,
forgiveness as well.
forgiveness and
Forgiving
love, yeah,
people, which is one of the hardest things I think that I've
it
found. I've
is.
just to forgive people, and to that's very difficult. So,
Yeah.
and I think these
Wow.
things really grow your light, and when you grow your light, you can be seen by
Yes. And you know what? It'll be a
so.
lot easier for people if they operate in a love frequency
Mhm,
without any jealousy.
mm,
It'll be easier for those people to have contact with the space people of light if they know you have no issues. So when you
yeah.
get rid of all the 3D issues in your consciousness and you're
Mm,
working in that frequency, like you said, Francis, then everything changes for you. It does for
mhm,
everybody out there watching this. It'll change in a nanosecond. I guarantee it.
yeah. Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Oh,
That was
thank you.
fun.
You've been great. I
Okay.
appreciate it,
No
Francis. Everybody
worries.
in Australia, thank you for being on here.
Thank
And
you.
we're going to let her go. Thank you
Okay.
for getting on the screen. You're watching Encounters. If you're watching it for the first time, this is the kind of stuff we do here. I'm on radio on Sunday mornings. Don't forget, tomorrow morning I am on again on my show. It's actually called The Cosmic Eye. It's a radio show dedicated to the Ashtar Command. I've been doing that show for like 21 years on NPR Pacifica Radio. And I love being here on TikTok with you. And I've been on here for over a year and plus period now into 2024. And I created this show for the purpose of creating a show where people can come together and share their encounters with space people, the stories like Francis, our friend in South Africa. This is a place where people can actually share real experiences that you're never going to hear on regular network TV. You're not going to hear it. You're going to, I've been a professional broadcaster for years and I'm also a contactee. So I have a lot of things that go on here with me. So in a different way. And if you have a story to share, if you've been visited by space people, I see UFOs in Black Forest, 1976. Kalamahasi Joe Kalamahasi. Joe Kalamahasi, would you like to come on the air? Come on the air. I feel like I'm on radio. Would you like to come on the show and share your story? German? Oh, in Germany. Yes. So I want to do more story-oriented stuff here. Okay. So we're going to bring. Okay, I'm going to press the guest button. Just press the accept button, and Joe will have you on the show here with us, and you can share your story too. And I want to thank everyone who's coming in here, finding the show. If you're new to the program, you're going to be addicted to the program because we don't do what other TikTokers do. We do an actual talk show, and we interview people. We don't have 10,000 people on here yelling and screaming. We don't do that here. And this way, you get to learn about someone's experience, right? And let's see here. Hey, Joe. Good evening. How are you?
Hello?
Hello, Joe. You're in Germany?
Yes?
Welcome over there in Germany. Good to have you with us on Encounters. So tell us, you said in 1976 you had a UFO encounter. Can you tell us your story?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you fine. Welcome to the
Be
show.
because I hear a little bit just. I don't know what's happened.
Oh, that's okay. Weird things do
But I
happen
hear
on my,
you. Okay. Okay, now it's
yeah.
better.
Oh,
Yes,
there.
it was
Okay.
because
So,
I have to say I'm 61 and my English is not so good, you know. So
okay.
sorry.
Okay.
I'm 61 now, and it was 1976. I'm not sure, maybe it was between 1975 and 1976. And I was living in Black Forest. It's in Germany. You can Google it. It's called Wildbad. How to
Goodbye.
say it in English? Wildbad. Yes, in Germany we say Wildbad. It
Goodbye.
means it's a sea for the how to say this kind of animals, bambies. You know, it means a
Hmm.
sea for the bambies. Can feel very well. You know, it's a big forest and lakes, and peoples are camping there a lot and such things. You know, it's very
Yeah.
popular. It's very popular region in this country. And me and my friend, they have a house. It's maybe about 20 feet from a big trees. Very these kinds of I don't know how to say tannen. It's very big trees, tannen called. You know,
Yeah.
it's I
And
forget the name in English.
it's
They
okay.
are very big trees and very old trees. They have it
Very
in
old trees in the
America
forest. I've
also.
heard of that forest in Germany, and you
Are
had
you from
a.
America?
Yeah, I'm in Connecticut in the United
Ah,
States here.
yeah.
Our show's broadcasting from the U.S.
It looks it looks like, but now you don't laugh in. It looks like same in the Bonanza movies.
Hmm.
You know, in the Bonanza series, the landscape.
But
It looks same like this.
landscape, okay. And in the landscape of this area in Germany, you had a UFO sighting.
Yes, and it was a triangle. It was a black triangle. It was a black, very big triangle. And we see it, we build a treetop house in this tree. Do you understand me?
Yeah, I do hear you.
A treetop house, you know? We was
A
children at
treetop
this time.
house, like a tree
Yeah, we were
house.
a tree house, yeah. In the top of the tree. In the top of the tree we built a house,
Hmm.
a wooden house. We was about 13 or 14 years old. Yes.
Okay, so you're in teenage years. And when this happened in '76, when did the sighting happen of this UFO? And can you tell us about that?
I can only remember because we wearing short trousers, you know, and it was about in May or June, in the months of May or June.
May or June of
Yeah,
'76. And can you
yes.
describe what the UFO looked like?
It was a black triangle
Okay.
shaped.
Triangle, okay. A black
Triangle.
triangle. Did it have any lighting on it? Were there any kind of lights or any sound or anything?
No, there was no sound, no lights. no sound, no lights. And it
Hmm.
was in about about it's difficult to explain because it was in the afternoon. It was about 20 feet up on over top of the trees. And it was, I don't know how to say in English, it was standing still,
It
it
was
not
just
moved.
hovering. I understand. It was hovering above you.
Yes, hovering above you. Yes,
Yes, I understand what you're
exactly.
saying.
And it was a sound, it was a sound,
No sound.
a deep, dark sound, like when you pling on a guitar, uh, the last side.
Hmm. Hmm.
Sorry, my English is
So,
very
and
bad.
how long was it hovering above you in the forest? How long was it hovering?
I
10 minutes,
cannot say to
5 minutes?
you. It was about 10 minutes or maybe 20 minutes or maybe longer because we was very afraid about the sound.
Yeah.
But it's difficult to explain. I think this sound, it was only in me and in my friend.
Right. Your
In
friend and yourself.
later,
Okay.
I tell this. I talk about with many people about this. The most they didn't believe me, and I tell it my parents. They believe it me, and I ask them at this time, at this afternoon, you hear this sound? I ask them, but they say no, we hear nothing, and nobody there hear something, because in this small town, in this village, at this time where I was living with my parents, there was only about 8 families are living there, about
Hmm.
50
Hmm.
people.
Wow, 50
And then,
people.
yeah, it's very, it's outside, it's, yeah, in America, maybe they say, oh, it's a desert.
Hmm.
No, there
Interesting.
is no, there is no supermarket, there is no shop, there is no gas station,
It's a
you know.
country area. It's a forest area. You're in the forest,
Yes,
correct?
yes. It's
Okay.
very
And
quiet and very beautiful.
did you
And
have
about
during your encounter, did you have of the actual UFO? Have you had any visitations? When I say that here on Encounters, what I'm asking you is, did you have any physical visitation besides the sighting of this particular ship?
You know, this tree was about high up, about 8 feet, and but you know that if you go in a swimming pool and you go up and want to jump down about eight
Hmm.
feet,
Hmm.
if you stand down, you look up, you think, oh, it's not very high, but when you up there and you look down, it's very high.
Hmm.
And but we running down this tree, you believe it or
Hmm.
not. I never could do this again, for very
Hmm.
quickly running down this
Right.
tree. And then we
Well, you were
run
a teenager
because
then.
the
You were able
window,
to do it.
yes, the window from the kinder room.
Hmm.
The window was open. It was on the first floor, and we built this treetop house. We can look from the window all the time from the room. It's everything okay, and we can talk together. Somebody's in the tree and somebody is in the room, and then we run back together, and we jumped through the window in the room and take down the. We was very, very afraid and very scared, and
Hmm.
we pull down the jalousies from the window,
In
and
the
this.
window.
Yes, and then it comes a light. I don't know how it was happened, but the room was filled with about a red, very red, dark light, and a
So
sound.
the room, if I can translate what you're saying in Germany, the room, the ship was beaming a ray of light into the room,
Yes, and the ship
a ray
was
of light
from.
in the room.
If we run from the tree, the short way we run from the tree, the short way to the room from the house, and we jump inside. The window was open. We jump inside, and we got a feeling. the triangle shaped ship was follow us.
It
It
followed
was
you.
behind us, you know. We know we I looked at my friend, and my friend he looked at me, and with any words we talking, we know exactly at this moment, only talk about it, the ship was follow us. And then we run very quickly and jump through the open window, closing the window, and through down the shallow seas. But and then a light comes inside. It was very scared. And then
So
we
you had a beam. It was the ship was following you. This is interesting, everybody. And Will,
yes,
you're going to be next
it was follow us.
after
But
Joe.
I cannot explain you how it does it looks, because it was we just I knew just it was something. It was very big. It's fooled up the sky, you know. It was so big. We cannot
And
see any. When we look behind, we can see only this, and there was no forest anymore, no nothing, you know.
you just saw the spaceship.
Yeah, the forest
So it's
was
huge. The
gone, and
spaceship was big.
the forest and the sky was gone, you know,
Hmm.
at this
The beam
moment.
of light is amazing, Joe. So this beam of light, uh, it was coming down from this triangular spaceship.
It,
The beam
the,
of light,
no,
the ray of light,
it was
the beam.
everywhere. No, the light was everywhere around. It was same. Just uh, you switch on the light in
Yeah,
the room, and it was
yeah.
just a half second, you know.
Hmm.
It was when we look behind. I cannot understand until now, because it was 13 or 14 old this time,
Right,
and
13,
now I'm
14 years old. Yeah.
61. And it's a long time ago, you know, and many
Mm.
time in my life I was thinking about this, and sometime I was thinking, I asked myself, it was just a dream. It must be just a dream. It could not be real. But then, in the next day, when I'm thinking another day, or maybe a month later, or a year later, I think,
Mm.
no, no, it was not a dream. It was real, you know.
It was real. Well, you know
And
what? It was real because you're now 61 years old. It happened in 1976 in a
yes,
forest, in the Black Forest in Germany. Yes, it was real. You don't, uh, that kind of a dream would never be that long. You would never remember it. If it was real, you're going to remember it. So, yeah, that is an amazing story, everybody.
yes,
That is truly amazing.
and by the way, believe it or not, I went. I can say exactly the date because it doesn't. It's a long time ago, but not so long time ago. I was exactly 25,
Hmm.
and it was about 16 December. It was about 5 days before Christmas, on 1989. About
89. Okay.
4 or 5, about maybe a week before Christmas. It was
Hmm.
1989, and it was in Phuket, Thailand.
Phuket, Thailand. Okay, I've heard of
Yes,
that
Phuket,
place.
Thailand. We see my girlfriend and me about 3 o'clock in the morning in Thailand. We went back from Karon Beach. We going by motorbike to Nai Han Beach. That's about 20 minutes to going by motorbike. And on top, and there is a big hill in Phuket. For men in the daytime, many Japanese tourists comes, and you
Right.
can look all over. You can see whole Phuket.
Hmm.
I don't know how to say in English. It's high on top,
Okay.
and you have to pay on top. On the other side, on top, it's going. It's sharp. It's all the time sharp curves, and it's
Yeah.
going down to the beach.
So this
So
mountain exists, and what happened on this
and
mountain?
the, and over. It was at 3 o'clock in the morning, and then we going to a sharp curve, and we see there was many cars parking, and other motorbikes are parking, and I I went right side. I parked too because we want to know what's happened there 3 o'clock at the morning. Because normally at this time there is no car, there is no motorbike.
Nobody
They
knew.
start about 9 o'clock in the morning with the tourist buses are coming,
Mm-hmm.
from the travel agency, and they bring all the tourists out there high on top for they can
Mm-hmm.
look. And that's I'm wondering why 3 o'clock in the morning so many people are there. And then we stop and go and we look in, and the ocean, when you look
Mm-hmm.
down, the ocean was full of lights. There was
The
many
ocean.
balls, same like footballs,
Mm-hmm.
lighting footballs, blue colored, yellow, yes, blue, yellow, different colors. They
Were there other people looking down at the ocean?
Yeah, there was all fascinated, there was, it was something like, it was also a little bit scary because nobody was talking, and
They were just
everybody
all looking.
just staring on these lights.
And were these lights above the water in the ocean or in the water?
No, no, they're flying for in because when you're on top on the hill and you look down on the ocean, this is the Qatar beach, and this is
Mm-hmm.
about for sure 300 feet or maybe
300 feet.
more.
They
Yeah,
were
you
300 feet
can.
above the ocean.
Yeah, there are many movies on YouTube. You can watch
Mm-hmm.
this.
Mm-hmm.
Not about the
So were
UFOs,
these
but about Thailand. No?
Thailand? But these UFOs, these craft, there was more than one of these things 300 feet above the ocean, correct?
Oh, there was a
There were multiples of more than one that you were looking at.
yeah, there was about I
Okay.
think 5 or 7,
Okay.
and because it's difficult to explain how big this balls was
Okay.
because we was 300 feet up.
Yeah.
It's very difficult
Interesting.
to, but everybody, I think, because everybody, I look at the people's faces around me, and I think everybody feel the same like me.
It's the same
It
thing.
was
Yeah.
it was same like how to say in English. It was a trance.
Yeah. They were in a
Same
trance.
like a
They were in a
dream, you
trance.
know.
Yeah.
It was same like a dream. I think it was 1989, and in the past years, many times I think about this, and I
Hmm.
also talk with many people about this. And I have a very good friend. He's living in Munich, and he saw this too. But 2 days later,
He
at
saw
this
your
time,
friend from Munich. You're telling
yes,
me
I
about
can.
encounters. He
Yes,
also saw these lights over the ocean.
yes. He was at the same time in Thailand with me, and but not at this night. I was with my girlfriend alone, and then in the next morning, I go to him and visit him, and I say to him, "You know what's happened last night? We was there. We drive by motorbike," and told him the whole story. And 2 days later, he's coming to me and tell me maybe the same story, a little bit different.
Right.
He and he was also together with his girlfriend, but this was not
Interesting.
up on hill. It was in it was in the Kata beach. I say to him,
Interesting.
you
The Kata
you
Beach.
see it from up to the hill? I ask him. Him say, no, they go how to say, they go to a walk in the beach in the
Right.
nighttime
They go on
because
the beach.
they
They're
fall
walking
in
on the
love,
beach and they see the lights, the
Yeah, they
craft, the
both fall in
UFOs.
love.
Hmm.
And then he went to a walk in the honeymoon beach. And
Honeymoon
then they
Beach.
see these lights too.
Hmm.
And they see these lights too. But at this time, I was not on this place because he said to me, I went to your apartment. I want to wake you up. He knocked to my door and say,
Yeah.
come on, I want to show you. But I was at this night in Patong Beach. And so I
Patong
didn't
Beach.
see it.
Okay.
Yeah, I was in Patong. That's about 4 miles away. We went to a
Right.
discotheque. uh,
Interesting.
yeah, that's my story.
Well, Joe,
And
thank you
I
for. Yes. Go
I
ahead.
see you many time here, and I look to you, and I think, oh, I can tell you this story. You believe it, but yeah, I
I'm
hope you
glad you
believe
told
me.
it. No, I believe you. This show is one of the few places on Earth where people can come up and share stories And 30 years later, we're in a much different place on Earth than we were 30 years ago. So I have a lot of people that I've interviewed on here. I've been on radio for 21 years in the U.S. on an NPR Pacifica radio station, and I'm also a contactee. So I've had contact with space people, and I come from Mars originally before becoming a human being. So I really thank you for that story. That's you won't hear this anywhere else, and I appreciate your time. And we're going to bring Will up next. And Joe, I'm following you, so I'm glad to have you with us on the program.
I follow you now again. I don't know what was happened because my handy is sometime I don't know how to say. And then I follow somebody, and then later I see, oh, the follower is gone. And
That's really
now, but
weird.
I
It could be
follow
a
you
TikTok
again now.
problem, maybe. Yeah, but I'm following you. Joe, thanks for being on here. Will's going to be our next guest on Encounters.
Yeah.
You're watching
Oh,
Encounters to Joe from Germany. And thank you, Joe, for
okay.
sharing that story,
You're
both of those
welcome.
stories.
Thank you for everything. Okay. Bye
Oh, you're
bye.
welcome. Take care.
Bye bye.
All right, that was Joe. We're going to bring up Will. Will's our next guest. And after Will, we're going to bring up Paul. So we're going to bring up Will next in the U.S. I know Will's in the United States because I've known him for a while.
Hey,
So
my
he's in the
friend.
U.S. Will, good evening. Welcome to the show.
How are you? I
We're
haven't.
doing good. It's a crazy night, but welcome in some really interesting stories today. What's happening out your way in the U.S.?
Oh, I'm in New Mexico right now. I just wanted to
Uh,
tell you that it's been a bad day, but it'll get better. I spreaded my grandma's ashes today, so that was disappointing. We saw her last in 2020. That was one
and
thing.
so, and what's the other part of it? New Mexico is a place where there's been a lot of history of UFO
Yeah,
sightings, visitations, and what's going on that level?
I haven't seen anything. Didn't see anything out here, but I've been getting like premonitions about June 15th, like visions of like, like aliens coming. I mean, star people coming down from like either a major city. Now, I don't know if it's like, it's not saying that it's exactly going to be on that day, but I get those feelings and I feel those feelings. I don't just come out and say it if I don't feel something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I gotcha. So you're feeling like when you're having your dreams, which are a download in your dreams, you're feeling like you're getting information for yourself at the moment about June 16th of 2024, correct?
Correct. And I
Okay.
know that you were talking about. I heard your shows, and you were recently you said it was going to be in 2025, but I believe it's. I think it's
Yeah,
going to be
we're
before that. I'm picking
our
up on
timeline.
something. I'm not
Well,
sure
I've
what it
talked about
is.
the timeline changing too. You've heard me say that. And also with my friend April in Vermont, we've talked about the timeline. I've talked about it originally a good couple months ago with Daryl Anka, which I was listening to him with Bashar talking about 2027, but the timeline switched. It's no longer 2027. It'll be between 2025 and early 2026, where, and again, the timeline can completely
I see.
shift like 3 months from now. But
Correct.
the way it is right now, and it's starting to happen, as you know, watching my show, people are having visitations and contacts individually around the world. There are probably many people that don't have the social media like the TikTok or the YouTube or whatever that are having visitations. And there could be hundreds of them all over the world in different countries being visited by star people, by space people. We don't know that, but I tend to understand in my consciousness that probably is true. The premonitions you have or the downloads you're having, that could be specifically for you. Now, that could be that you're going to have a physical interaction on in
15th.
June with, for you. That could be, and I keep getting, if anything, it would be for you on that specific personal level.
Oh,
So
interesting.
people will get downloads. And if you meditate on this, Will, just meditate on it and say, is this going to be for me? And all you have to do is put the question out there, to the universe in your meditation. Am I will going to be having contact on June so and so date? Ask that question and listen in meditation for the answer because I think it's for you.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
But what I
it would
mean,
be personally for you. It
yeah,
wouldn't be for somebody else. It's going to be a personal interaction. If it happens, it'll be for you. It's not going to be for the whole world. That's what I mean. There's going to be individual contacts. Whether or not it happens, you just have to ask the question. That's
But
all.
I believe it was just for everyone too. Like you know what I mean? Like the spacecrafts, like a big spacecraft is going to appear out of nowhere, and everybody's going to be stunned and go. Well, what do we believe now? You know,
Hmm.
like it's going to stop major traffic in major cities. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it could, but I keep getting really strong indications that it's going to be for you to have a personal encounter in June.
Yeah.
It could be there's something that will happen, but I keep getting really strong feelings it's going to be for you. They're the people you're connected with, the star people.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be actually. I keep getting really strong feelings when you mention that it's for you to have a personal experience.
Well, that's enlightening then, and I
Yeah,
wonder
no, it is.
what
It's
it's
for
going to be
you.
like if they're going to actually come down
Hmm.
and take me out of body or take me there,
Well, I don't
whichever
know
one
about
of the
that,
things.
but I do know I get the feeling that you will have an encounter. You
Oh,
know,
well, that's a good
yeah,
feeling then.
yeah.
Eh,
But I want you to meditate on that. And hello, April. I think April's here. I want you to meditate on that because if you meditate daily for 30 minutes a day or whatever, or whenever you wish to do it,
eh,
then if you're in New Mexico, definitely meditate since you're in New Mexico. That's a place where a lot of stuff happens. And if you meditate, just say, I wish to know, am I going to have an encounter on such and such date in June?
mm,
And also make sure that you do this most important thing, which is, I am a Christed being of light. I'd like to know, my star family, are you going to communicate with me in June? Can you please give me confirmation? And
And
when
I
you
can't.
say that specific question,
Yeah.
I'd love to see in the future if you get a confirmation.
Should I look up on YouTube how to meditate, or just
I
close
don't
my
know.
eyes and
Well, in
then?
terms of how to meditate, I can tell you right off the bat. When you meditate, just use the word you or om. The word om is om, you is hu. Those are
Oh,
two very high vibrational words. So when you say it and repeat the word om or you, those
yeah,
words have a high vibrational pattern. If you say that, you first are going to say, I'm a Christed being of light. I wish to connect with my star family about June, so
yeah,
and so date. Put the question out there. And
yeah,
say, I would only like to hear back from a response telepathically from my star family. When are you going to contact me? You're going to contact me in June.
that
You know,
makes
like the date
sense.
you just mentioned, and use. You can use high vibrational music. Will you can get it through YouTube? There's tons of good stuff. Use what I call ambient meditation music to start. Ambient meditation. Find an ambient meditation sound that you like. Put it
Yeah,
on low. The music on low. Don't blast it or anything,
yeah,
and just use the words I am a Christed being of light. I am Will. I wish to connect with my star family. I have a date that I've been getting a premonition on. Can you communicate with me? And as a Christed, only if you're a Christed being of light may you communicate with me. Is there going to be a personal contact for me in June? And
that
that's what
makes.
you have to do. You can put it any way, you can word it any way you want, but
Mhm.
just as long as it's in that context, you know?
And I can come back and let you know what
Yeah,
happens, if
definitely.
anything.
Yeah,
It was great talking to you,
absolutely.
Commander.
You too, Will, and and down the road, and again, you want to practice this. And if you do, you get into the practicing of the you and the om, that's going to get you into that vibrational pattern where you'll actually be able to do that.
And
And
it
you'll
has
be
nothing
able to
to do with
clearly
lighting
get a
candles, right?
response.
You just listen to tones. You don't need to
I
light
don't know
candles or
candles.
anything.
Just use the music. You don't have
And
to use
say that
candles at
you're
all.
Christ
No
consciousness.
rituals. It's just straight out telepathic communications.
Okay, that makes sense. I'll look up some tones. Some what were they tones? Your tones. You
It's
can send
called
me a
it's
message.
ambient. It's ambient
Ambient,
meditation music.
ambient
Ambient,
meditation.
yeah, ambient space music, I would say. Yeah,
If you would shoot me a message just saying that, that would be grateful.
yeah, I will. I'll get
Yeah,
to a message either tonight or tomorrow. I'll shoot you a message. It's called ambient
yeah.
space music.
Ambient
It's
space
ambient
music.
meditation space music. I'm sorry, or space music.
Perfect.
All right. I
Thank you
want to
so
thank
much.
Will for joining us here tonight in New Mexico.
Yep. You're welcome. Have a great night.
You too, Will. You take care. Be well. And that was Will. He's been a friend of the show for a long time. And let me see here. What's going on here? And Paul, we're going to bring Paul on here. Paul's been a recent guest. And if you wish to be a guest on our show, folks, you have to have over 200 followers for audio and over 800 followers for video and no foul language. Hey, Paul, good to see you, brother.
So,
Yeah, we're doing good. No foul language, no drugs, drinking, whatever, all that stuff. No criminal discussion. Paul's been a guest before, a friend of the show. Hey, Paul, how's it going?
let's go, man. It's been raining a lot down here lately.
I know you guys are getting clobbered by rain.
Yeah, I coach soccer and my game got canceled today.
Oh boy, there you
They,
go.
they rescheduled it for Monday.
Oh, there
It's
you
all
go.
right.
The soccer's got to be good again. We played soccer in high school, so we
Oh,
know.
we doing good this year. I've been coaching and we clinched the playoffs, the number one seat, so I don't even have to win this game. So
Oh
we
wow,
get
that's
a
great.
bye the
Number
first
one
game.
seed. Thank
Yep.
you, Rod. So what's happening in your world on the cosmic level?
Well, I've seen a few things, and then me and my dad's been working on a few things. We
Yeah, I
just
know your
try.
dad. You
My
were trying
dad's
to find that.
my dad's a very smart guy, and
Yeah.
we've been when he had a question, I told him I'd ask you about it
Okay.
if it's possible.
Oh, it's always
Uh,
possible.
you know, I don't know. It always seemed like me and him was talking one day and said, it's 21st century. I thought that we would have more technology in what we do.
Mhm.
I mean, like I think I should be able to open a portal up and be able to transfer myself anywhere in this world.
Right. That's right.
Thought, that we would have something like that. And I said, I wonder if that something like that is possible to make.
Yeah.
And build. Or a machine that you could put in everybody's house and you could just go in this thing and transfer anywhere you want to in the world.
Yeah. It's basically. I've looked at this before. I've seen stuff on YouTube, not YouTube, on here, where they have these stargates, and they're not stargates. They have a live video in each country. They created this thing, and they have one in New York, on Dublin Island. They have them in different places. It looks like a stargate, a round thing. And
I've
then people
seen that thing, but it's an actual portal where you can see them, not where you can
you
go
see it.
through it.
You can't go through it. But has that idea like, this is really cool. You can just jump right into Dublin Island and be
Yeah, it
on the
looked like
street.
Stargate, the movie. Yeah, I've
Like the
seen
movie,
that
yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think to your question, I think that we really should have the ability to go through a Stargate to a point A to point B. So if we wanted to
Of
go
course,
to,
again, we
let's say,
wouldn't need airplanes, would we?
yeah, as long as we haven't hit an airplane, right? But
Yeah.
I think the Stargates, Paul, do exist. I think that our governments know about them. They might even have found these Stargates that are active, that they don't tell the public about it. I can't prove that, but I do think that there is Stargates. Like, it's a great discussion. Wish that we can do this. I think we can. I just think that not only do we have Stargates, there are ancient Stargates that have been found in other places in the world, in remote places, and these Stargates, if one knew how to activate them, can go through these Stargates, which might take you to another universe, another planet. Who knows,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Interesting.
that's the problem.
Yeah.
You get don't know where you're going to go, point A to point B.
Yeah. And then if you can go through a Stargate, and in the Stargate you can decide, I want to go to this planet where these other space people live. Like, if you can point your destination in the Stargate, Paul, wouldn't that be kind of amazing? So, like, you and I say, okay, we want to go to planet Zaraka. And on Zaraka, they're very advanced people. They're vegetarians or whatever. We visit their planet, get to see their lives. And then now we need to go back to our home planet on Earth. So then they tell us, okay, do this, and you'll be in a couple of seconds, be back where you were located before. And I believe that's possible. And I believe we have the technology, or that we found the technology, but it's not publicly known. The public doesn't. We realize something's going on here, but there's got to be more than just this, right? So I think you're right on the money about this, the galactic openings, or going from here to there. I think it already exists. Some of them are called, we call them portals. I call them galactic portals. They're in East China. They're also in the Bermuda Triangle. These triangles that exist all over the world. they're essentially, in a way, they're openings where spaceships can come in from other worlds and other dimensions, and they come in all the time. But the stargates are different because those were created by the space people to go from one place to the other. And these stargates are all over the planet. There was a time in our billions of years of history, folks, where they probably lived on our planet, the advanced space people, for a time, and they went through these stargates. They put them all over the place. They were everywhere.
That's interesting.
It is, isn't it? And
Yeah.
you can study stargates and hit the history of stargates, and there is some archaeological history of them finding these ancient structures that look like stone. They look like a stargate, and they're pretty right on the money. They look like that, and you wonder, is this thing? If we knew what to do with it, could we reactivate it somehow? I think that that's what they want to do. I think we already have them reactivated, but they're just kept top secret from the public. I'm not reading the comments, Phyllis.
I was reading one that was saying something about a portal.
Yeah, I think what Paul and I are talking about in this discussion. Karen says, I've captured on video witnessing them opening up and a raft coming through. And the raft is what we talk about. April talks about the raft.
I know exactly what it is.
A raft coming through? A raft, maybe I'm incorrect about what I'm saying here, but there's usually an opening where the space people can come through a galactic portal, so to speak, or a stargate.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah, I've heard of stuff like that. Me and my dad, we lately we've been testing a few things, and it's weird, really. We've been testing thing on radio waves.
Yeah.
Signals.
Oh, actually, right, a rift. Yeah, not a rift. And on radio waves, your dad and you've been testing.
We have a big giant satellite that we built, and sending waves out in space.
Interesting. So you created this radio, your dad and you, and
I did all the welding work to it, and
you did the welding work.
He made a whole humongous dish, and then he helped me with the electronics and stuff to it.
Wow! So you're shooting a transmission out into the universe.
Yeah.
And is there do you create the work in the transmission? Do you have a way of creating what you want to say as you're sending that transmission out?
I do. I mean, we have a type of he hooked up where you had a type of you just speak into it and it types it, and then it transfers. Supposedly transfers it into different types of languages. The way Dad had it set up, and we made one humongous amplifier so it would push the signal out way farther. How far? I cannot tell you. We just had this idea. We have heard some weird things out in space, though.
You have? Yeah. And are you, to say the least, if I were to ask this question, are you waiting for a response to your message?
Yeah, I was just wanting to see, we always want to know who was out in space, and just I told Dad, I said, we had to build this thing just to see if we could hear anything out of space, because he's curious about out of space, which he's worked one-on-one with some of this stuff, which I've told you in the past.
Right.
Seen things. He had that
ability. He had the clearance. He had the top secret clearance at that stuff.
Yeah. What's so funny? It's so funny about that. It's just like what Dad said. He said, what's so funny is when they bring new presidents, the president of the United States in, half the time they don't even know about some of this stuff. They don't even know anything about it. They even hide this stuff from the president of the United States. And I keep thinking, well, how the heck do they fund this stuff without the president even knowing about it?
Right.
And I was like,
looks like your dad. They're at a high top secret clearance, Paul. They have this top security clearance on a cosmic top level, and the presidents, they might know a little bit, but they're briefed on some things. Every president is, and probably every government leader in different countries would be briefed, but they don't know half of what's going on because they're only briefed on what they want them to know. The leaders of these countries.
I want to go to the Antarctic. I want to see the other continent, that Dad was talking about.
Yeah.
I really want to see that.
There's a lot going on over there, and I get mixed reviews about whether Antarctica is cut off on some areas from the public. I don't know. Again, I've been watching that.
I didn't even know it was true until I seen a video about it, and I asked Dad about it, and that's when he told me about that stuff. Like he said, yeah, it's a no-fly zone. He said it's like a no-fly zone, just like Area 51. You go so far, they'll shoot you down.
Interesting.
Won't think twice about it. Yeah.
Well, I believe for sure
because,
and I don't know.
It's a huge. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think, Paul, and I've studied Antarctica for a long time quietly. I do believe there are entrances. Well, I know this to be true. There are entrances into the Agartha network, which is called the subterranean cities on planet Earth, in the Earth. That's where our space families live. Well, that's another part of it. They live within the Earth. Our space families live within the Earth. They try to block off the area, our governments. They want people to know the truth. So they want to block it off so you come here. Because we have different governments all over the world, including Russia and other people working in the United States.
What's so funny
regarding this?
What's so funny about it is it's always seemed like the places Dad was telling me about is always in ice. I've noticed that because he's telling me about the South Pole, North Pole, and the Antarctic, which those three places we don't know that much about.
Right. And the reason
at least
being
most Americans don't.
Yeah. Now, and some of the stories about that area that have been on AI created stuff on TikTok and YouTube are all fear-based. They'll never. I've seen the content quietly. I've looked at it, and it's all fear-based. And the thing is, the fear-based stuff that's put out and projected to the public is all a bunch of lies. Because the fact is, there's no monsters trying to gobble up people in Antarctica and all this stuff. All these things are happening. It's all fear-based, and there's then the government's involved in putting it on TikTok. I believe they're involved on YouTube and even on Facebook or whatever. So I'm going to say right here now that what's going on over there has nothing to do with negative ETs. They've actually advanced cities in the other side of what they call. There's no real wall. People say there's this wall. There's no wall. It's
just because that's all they can get to record. Right. They record this big ice. It looks like a big ice capsule going straight across, and that's as far as it. And of course, again, the reason they call it a wall because this thing is probably about 50 feet high, if not 100 feet.
If one were to be able to go over that area, there's nothing blocking airspace except the world governments that don't want people to know the truth.
I mean, I ain't tried the aerial view with the satellites, but again, you know who controls that,
right?
And they're not going to let you be able to move your hand across the thing and zoom in on across that thing,
right?
If it's top secret, that ain't going to happen,
right? So, there's not really a wall. It's not really this blocking ice wall blocking anybody. That's just a term people have created on the internet.
Exactly.
The truth is, there's definitely civilizations that are on the other side of this zone, the blocking zone. Forget the ice wall or no ice wall. There's another area that is more tropical. It's really interesting that those that have gone in there and secretly gotten out of there say that it's a lot warmer. It's a more tropical climate. It's a more tropical climate, and that people have said there are advanced cities they've seen. So that part of it, I believe, is absolutely correct. But I think all the fear-based stuff that's on the internet about that area is totally untrue. It's being put out there to have people be in fear of the truth. And I think that's what's going on. And I've really quietly studied this for quite some time. And people need to know, if you see anything fear-based on YouTube or TikTok or whatever regarding Antarctica or that area, don't believe it. What's the source of the information, and where's that person getting that information from, and where's that information coming from? Don't believe it, because they want you to be afraid of things and they don't want you to know the truth. That's basically it,
That's correct.
So there you go.
Well, let me
Right?
run, but I've enjoyed your time.
Hey, great discussion. You brought up some good stuff, and hopefully your father will find that book with all the photos in it.
Yeah, I've been hoping to find that.
It'll happen. It'll happen someday. Hey, Paul, thanks for being on here, man. It's been great.
All right. Y'all have a great one.
You too. Take care. And that's my friend Paul. And, so definitely interesting. And if you want to be a guest on the show and have some stuff to share, we'd love to have you on. We have 82, almost at 100,000 followers, not followers. Everybody follow the show. Everybody follow each other. We're having some great guests tonight. We're going to continue on that mode here. And if you want to be a guest, you have to have over 200 followers for audio, over 800 for video. And just if you're new to the show, no foul language, no drugs, no smoking of any sort. We don't talk about anything paranormal, strictly in this genre. Tell me what you want to talk about. You have to be over 18. That's very important. And we'll bring you on here. And let me see, Half Pint, Mary and Ray having contact with the Anunnaki. Let me see if they're there. Hey, Mary, how you doing?
All right.
And is Ray sleeping or awake?
It's pretty cool over here. I've been having a lot of activity.
So let's get some updates. It's been a while since you've been on, and I've been looking carefully at pictures. But tell us what's going on recently in the Appalachian Mountains where you are.
Oh my God, it's been so active here. Like every time I take a picture, I get like 5 ships in this picture
Mm-hmm.
right above my house.
And is it during the day you're getting these pictures or at night?
No, during the day and at night.
During the day, okay. And tell us what's happening. Has the activity increased since the last time? A few times we've had you on the show.
Oh yeah, like 100% active.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And what about the physical visitations? Now, when I talked to Ray, you talked to folks. They're in the Appalachian Mountains in Pennsylvania, in a country area similar to my friend April in Vermont. Can you tell us? Have the visitations increased? Have they been more physical? Meaning, have they manifested more, not being afraid to show who they are to you?
Well, actually, they're if Ray walks outside at night, they'll come up to him.
They'll come right up to him.
Oh yeah, I mean they don't like walk straight up to him, but they stand right next to him when I'm snapping a picture.
Mm-hmm.
They let me take their picture.
And does he know that Deborah, they're in the Appalachians in Pennsylvania? So the Appalachians go up through Pennsylvania where they are. So when they're standing right next to him, does he realize that the Anunnaki person is standing next to him?
Oh yeah, he can feel them.
He does. You can feel it. Okay.
Oh yeah,
And
so we get really happy when they come around. Like
yeah.
it brings up our energy like big time.
Mm-hmm. Does the Anunnaki person that stands next to him just stand there quietly, or does the Anunnaki person, man or woman Anunnaki, communicate with him verbally or telepathically? Do you know?
Telepathically.
Telepathically.
And he's in full gear, like he looks like a warrior when he's standing next to Ray.
Oh, the Anunnaki.
Yeah.
So the Anunnaki is wearing some sort of a spacesuit, correct?
Um
I mean, you say he's like a warrior. He's wearing some outfit.
yeah, it's almost like um I'm trying to think of what I can compare it to, but he's beautiful in this outfit. Like he looks like one of God's soldiers.
One of God's soldiers. Interesting. Interesting. And does he feel a sense of great love coming from that Anunnaki?
Oh yeah,
You
man,
know,
and he's getting so many downloads that it's almost too much for him. So they have
yeah.
to back off for a minute.
April's saying samurai, like a samurai. You know, a
Yeah.
samurai. Yeah, still with your samurai, April. Yeah, April's saying like samurai.
Yeah,
Um,
he's beautiful standing there in his gear.
hmm hmm And so we've been briefly, because you had contact with the Anunnaki on our show Encounters. Greta's saying, do you have any pictures of the Anunnaki?
Oh yeah, I'll have to put him on my profile
They put them on the
for
profile, the pictures of
everybody.
the Anunnaki, and we can show them on Encounters so people can see what the Anunnaki really look like. So understand, folks who are watching this Encounter show, the Anunnaki, whatever your perceptions is of what people have created in AI or all these images of artwork of what the Anunnaki are, um, they're different in real life because they're having contact with the Anunnaki. So when they're having that contact, what she has is pictures of them. And again, we'll share those photos of the real Anunnaki, not artwork, but real Anunnaki that really are people. And how tall are the Anunnaki? Can you tell our audience?
Um, they're pretty tall. I'd say about 7 feet tall, maybe.
7 feet tall. Okay.
Yeah,
So now we know that the Anunnaki, the men and women who are Anunnaki, are 7 feet tall, about 7 feet tall. Well, that's
yeah, it's
still pretty
really,
tall. It's taller than me.
yeah, it's taller than me.
Taller than you too, right?
And I think Ray keeps on going transparent, so I think they're um taking him up, but he's not
Mhm.
remembering
Right.
anything. So I
So when
keep
he
telling
goes,
him, Ray, you got to tell him you need to remember.
right. So when you say he's going transparent for people all over the world watching encounters, how does that work? I know what the word transparent means. So when do you see him when he's being taken on the ship? So
Um,
you see his physical body. Let's say 1 minute, like he's looking like you. You're physically solid. So when he's going to be taken on the ship, what happens to him when you're looking at him being taken by the Anunnaki on the ship?
well, let's see. One night, him and my dog Eddie both disappeared for a minute and came back. And then every so often at night, if he walks out on the deck, it's almost like he's a ghost. You know what a ghost looks like
hmm
when you take a picture, transparent like that?
Okay.
Yeah,
So the molecular structure of his physical body is adjusted to being transferred onto a spaceship. Then the molecular structure of the human body is reconfigured back to solid form on the ship.
right.
I understand that. Do people understand what I just said? The molecular structure, when he's becoming transparent, he's not losing his body at all. It's just that he's being transported onto a ship. The molecular structure reconnects. It's almost like Star Trek when they go onto a planet. The whole body dissolves into almost nothing, and then reconnects when they're on the planet. Then when they go back and get beamed up, the molecular structure of the body um, gets brought up, and then physically the molecular structure is back into solid form.
Yeah, man, it's a trip to watch. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
like, it's really cool,
Mm-hmm.
but it's it makes me nervous just a little bit because I'm almost afraid they're not going to bring him back.
Oh, they'll bring him back. Have you ever asked why? Have you ever asked why they are not bringing you on the ship with him?
I think they are, but I don't think
They
I'm
are.
remembering. So this is what happens. So I don't sleep. Like, I barely sleep. So
Mm-hmm.
for the last 3 or 4 nights, I think they've been putting us to sleep
Okay.
because I'm like just falling asleep, like knocking out, falling asleep. So I think they're taking us up and we're just not remembering.
Yeah. You should ask them when you both go up there or when you see them that you want to remember. Like, it's interesting. why you wouldn't remember. Maybe it's just your consciousness of both of you is just in that mode right now. Maybe your mind's not remembering because the mind's just not allowing it to happen. So I would have a little conversation with your brain and say to your brain, when we're taken onto the ships by the Anunnaki, I want to remember everything that occurred when I went on the Anunnaki spaceship.
You.
So I want you to test that theory with Ray, that you and Ray say, before I go on the ship, if he knows he's going to be taken on the Anunnaki spaceship, I have an idea that ask the Anunnaki to help you remember what it is you're doing. And also, just like my friend April in Vermont, you have mission. You're doing mission work with the Anunnaki. So you need to know what that is and need to be able to remember that.
So we remember the message. So
You remember the message.
the messages are always love and light. No war, just pure love. So
hmm
that's what we're trying to get across to everybody, because that's what we keep hearing.
hmm Frank Buddy says, can you explain how the ship looks like? What does the ship look like? One of our audience people wants to know.
Well, I've had 3 or 4 different ships here. I've had a mother ship that I got a picture of, which was
hmm
huge.
hmm
And then just the other night, I caught one right up above my house that was just dancing around. And I've caught them in the sky above my house, like 3 or 4 of them. It's really, I mean, they're like all over.
Yeah. And this is the thing, having a lot of activity where they are similar. You're having similar activity like April up in
Yeah.
Vermont. Very similar. Yeah, it's amazing because you're both in the mountains. She's in northern Vermont. You're in the mountains in the Appalachians in a remote area, and it's so amazing that you're you're having these contacts. Um, Globe Earth Laura Globe Earth or Globe Earth Laura says, did you catch any evidence with the phone you're using?
Oh, yeah.
I think he means, yeah, she's documented on her, everyone follow her page. She's been taking photos constantly and documenting things with the Anunnaki, including beams of light coming down at the sky on their property. All kinds of stuff is going on. Yeah, absolutely. And
Yeah,
she
that's
has
pretty
documented
cool.
it too, which is pretty amazing.
I
You
think
know,
it's cool.
I am very interested to see, that not only are they talking about love, but like when April goes on the ship and she comes back, she's talking about going to Atlantis, the space cities in the ocean, and she's documented all this, and she comes back with information. Do you think, beyond the fact that they are talking about love, the Anunnaki, that there's other things of mission work that you and Ray are to be doing very specifically? Like, do you have like a feeling that there's a group of you up in that area, or that you'll be connecting with other people with the Anunnaki that they want you to work with? Obviously, being here is beautiful because we're friends. We're here to on our show to share information here that no one's getting anywhere else, and that's what we're doing. But do you feel that there's a greater mission you both have? Have they
Yes.
been giving you any indication that there's a greater mission beyond beyond the message of they love the word love? So what do you think you're both what your mission's going to be? What is your mission? Have they told you?
Um, Not exactly, but
hmm
I do know that they've been talking to Ray about wars,
About
because
wars.
they don't want any wars, and they
Mm-hmm.
keep they keep telling Ray that. So I think they're telling Ray more than they're telling me. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I just now started getting messages from them.
You're starting to get
Like
messages. That's good.
like they'll tell me, like, it's really weird, because I'll hear, Mary, take pictures of the sun.
hmm
You'll notice on my page I take a lot of pictures of the sun.
Yeah.
They're telling me to do that for a reason. I just haven't figured it out yet.
Well, if they're telling you to do that, you might want to ask them what's the reason. Uh, the Red Gen says, are they preventing wars right now by influence? Have they told you anything about that, the Anunnaki?
Not me. They might have Ray, though.
Mhm. Edic is saying mission to spread awareness and message of universal love.
Yes.
And they told you just briefly mentioned they talked to Ray about preventing war, about
Yes.
war. So they're telling Ray that they don't want us to have any wars on our planet, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And that might be what the message and your mission will be, is to be messengers of that, to educate people to stop, however that's going to work, to stop creating war.
Yeah.
That's
I
what
think
that's exactly what I'm getting.
I think it's really amazing because they talk to Ray all the time. Like Ray could be sitting there and then all of a sudden he'll say something to me and I'm like, "Where did you get that from?" "Oh, they just told me."
Hmm.
And I'm
Hmm.
like, "Wow, man, we need to start writing this stuff down."
Right, right. Well, I think you eventually, if you are conscious of it before you or Ray get taken onto the Anunnaki ships, just say to them, "Can you help me unblock myself in my brain so I can remember what I need to remember, so I can remember what to share?" And I think the Anunnaki will do that if you ask them to do that. You're communicating telepathically with them. Ask them telepathically, I'm not remembering everything. I need to remember. Can you help activate my memory? Just ask them that question. Can you activate my memory?
So
I would
check
ask
this
the
out.
Anunnaki to do that.
So last night I was talking to this woman. She's not a psychic. She's kind of like a psychic. But
Hmm.
anyway, the ancestors came through to talk to me through her. And they told me, "Mary, you need to unblock your mind. Your heart's unblocked, but you need to unblock your mind because
Yeah,
it's causing a problem."
yeah. Well, that's what I'm getting. You and Ray, somehow your mind's blocked. You need to just tell your mind that I'm going to unblock it. You also can ask the Anunnaki when they take you and Ray on the ship, before they're getting ready to take you, just telepathically tell them. And even when you go to sleep tonight, for example, just say to the Anunnaki people that are contacting you, "Can you help me unblock my mind so I can remember the messages that you wish me to bring back to Earth?" And if you do that, I think once you have that blockage unblocked, you'll actually be able to share more information verbally that you're getting telepathically from the Anunnaki, which are telepathic communicators.
Well, they're certainly letting me know that they're still around because I
Oh
see
yeah,
them all the time. Now I can see them with my eyes. Before I couldn't. Like for the last, this just started like about 4 days ago. Now I'm
yeah,
seeing just about everything. So
yeah, yeah. And I know my friend April, I looked at some new pictures of the orb ships, of spaceships during the day. She has spaceships that she's captured that are being documented. And it's pretty amazing. She's documented everything, as you know, April, and
yeah.
many of you do out here. So I think that there's a relationship between what's happening in Vermont and over where you are with the Anunnaki. They're all connected to the star levels of light, and I think that the dynamics of what we're talking about, everybody who's watching this, is that Ray and Mary, I think not only things have increased since the first time I spoke to you, but they're increasing tenfold. Is the activity getting stronger?
Oh yeah, a lot stronger. So check this out. So we also have spirits here, okay? So something dark followed us home. And you know those orbs that Ray tells you about?
Right.
Okay, so they took that black thing out of here. Like
Oh, good.
they busted up this orb, busted up in a bunch of pieces,
Yeah.
and took that black thing out of here.
Yeah.
So
So you're
we
well
are
protected.
very protected.
We're very well protected. And I know
Yeah,
you work in the Christ. I always teach people about Christ, not on a religious level. I'm talking about the Christ on a cosmic level. And it's always important. And one of the things I practice always in my life is that I always operate in Christ consciousness, because that's the strongest level of light that protects you against anything negative is Christ consciousness. And
So I do know one thing. So the woman that I was talking to, so I walk around my property 3 or 4
mhm,
times a day
yeah,
saying love and light, no evil here in God's name. I do it like 3 or 4 times a day, but I have to do that because my property is like Skinwalker Ranch. So that that's not all I have here. I mean, I have off the wall things like
yeah,
I've taken pictures of big footprints from a dinosaur. So
dinosaur.
there's a lot of weird stuff happening here.
Well, hey, look, we've been told that dinosaurs have been extinct, but the truth is, if you have dinosaur tracks in the mountains of the Appalachians, does that mean that there are maybe dinosaurs that are able to come on your property? Where have you seen dinosaur tracks?
Right in my front yard.
And
Big
let
ones
me ask
too.
a question.
This thing must have
These,
been huge.
so these dinosaur tracks, are they current or do they look like they're old?
Well, no, they show up every so often.
They just show up.
Oh yeah, and then Bigfoot's around here now too. So he yelled at Ray the other night, and then I've been hearing him walk around the house. So I don't know if he's protecting me too, or or if he's just. I'd really love to meet him.
So I don't think the Bigfoot's, being aggressive. Do you think the Bigfoot is trying to communicate with you?
Yes.
So when people say Bigfoot's yelling, I mean, they're not speaking English. They're so, like my friend April, Half Pint and I think the dinosaur thing is being. I'm going to bring April up because you guys are really definitely. I'm going to bring April. Where's April? Here she is. And this is just. I just feel I have all this energy tonight here. So you know April, right?
Hi, April.
Hi, have fine. So I got to go over your property. You got a really nice property, a lot of woods.
Oh yeah, we're like.
So yeah, I got to travel over Half Pint's property. They pointed it out to me when we went into the mountains up there when I was traveling with Gan. And he was pointing out all the ships that were posted over her property. Like there's a lot. She has a big one, and she has probably like 9 smaller ships that are always there. They're always posted there. If they're not landed in her woods, they are above her property. But yeah, I got to see those, and the dinosaur thing. Those are dimensional.
That's interesting.
Those are coming in and out with the fairies that are on your property. So like how I get the dragons that show up on my property, the dinosaurs are coming through the same way. So that's why they're only once in a while you'll see them. It's because they're coming through dimensionally because you have all those portals on your property.
Yeah. So the dinosaurs are they interdimensional?
Yes. Yeah,
Interesting.
they come basically from the realm of the fairies is basically where they're coming from. And I don't think that they're dinosaurs per se. I think that they're dragons that you got going on there. Because I saw one on your property when we were going over. You had a rock dragon on your property too.
So is that bad?
No, they're good. They're good.
Oh, okay.
They're protective.
Hey, you
Thank
look
you for
different,
that.
Mary. You look different with a mustache.
So, April,
Yes.
how do I meet
How do you meet what?
Bigfoot? He's here, and
Okay,
I
so
think he's trying to communicate.
if he wants to communicate with you, I would start by leaving him out. Like go out as far as you can into your, on your property, like a roundabout where you're kind of hearing him hooting and holler, and just leave him out a snack and just talk out loud. And don't like expect to meet him right off. Leave him out a snack and talk out loud and say that you know that he's there and that you want to be friends and see if he takes the stuff that you leave for him. He might leave you something in return, and you have to build that relationship with him.
Well, I left some stuff for him, and I was talking to him as I was walking around the property.
Listen, these guys are junk food junkies, so I would leave them out like a Diet Coke and like maybe like a candy bar or something, because they can't get that stuff off dimension. They love snacks like candy bars, and they will. I'm telling you, they're going to be your best friends.
Yeah. And the other thing is, if you're hearing echoing from for Mary and myself, the space people, April's on a phone that is connected with a spaceship, so we're echoing into the universe right now.
I'm so sorry about that. It's this phone. Every time me and the commander are on together, and I'm on that phone, it echoes really bad.
It happens. But
I think it's time to come through.
Yeah, we hear them sometimes.
I think when you were Mary saying about the Bigfoot, I think that will become they are used to you. And Ray, I think they want to communicate with you as April has communications with her Bigfoot friends in the wood mountains.
Boy, Commander.
I apologize about the echoing, guys. It's just when I'm connected with the commander's phone. Do you have your earbuds in, Commander?
No, it's not, my earbuds are not working.
Oh, they're still not working?
And the earbuds are charged up, but I can't get them to work.
Oh, no.
That's really weird. So, I'm not even on the earbuds right now.
Ray, Commander. The other night when your light went out, Ray did that.
Yeah. So right now, because April's on the other phone, we're transferring into the universe.
He wanted to joke with you, and he goes, "Watch, I'm going to let his light go out." And it went out.
That's funny. I saw they're connected into your ground there. Did you know that?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw like connections that they have put into your ground. So they are drawing natural energy from our planet to keep their to energize their ships. So what they do is they're borrowing energy from our Earth, and they're that's why those lines are going down into your property. So they're not like disturbing our planet or like taking anything that they haven't asked permission for, and then they're putting stuff back in, like maybe cleaner dirt or cleaner air or water, things like that. So that's why they're connected into your property, or you see those energy lines, because I know you're starting to see them now. You have to be about now, because you're waking up way more. I can tell, because the energy around you. You're like 3 shades brighter than you were before. But you have to be seeing these things now. So if those lines that you're seeing is them borrowing energy from our Earth, and then they're putting it back by either cleaning the water or cleaning the air and stuff like that. So that's what those lines are that you're seeing, because I have them all over my property too.
So I know that some of their ships cause radiation, right?
Say that one more time.
Some of their ships cause radiation.
I'm having a hard time hearing her. I don't know if it's my phone.
It might be. Put yourself on mute for a minute. And then go on mute after the question. Okay, now ask the question.
Okay, so I'm wondering, can their ships cause radiation? Because I'm a little worried about that, because me and Ray have been getting sick. So I don't know. They probably aren't causing it, but it's just weird.
No, it can't cause radiation. They're actually the good space beings like the Anunnaki are actually cleaning and doing the same thing that the Ashtar Command is doing, because they're all connected. They're all together. But they are cleaning the air around you, because of the. It's not you guys. It's what the government's doing. I just had a ship come over my place tonight that was trying to drop chemicals
Yeah.
over my
Really?
property. Yes, and I got it on. I think I got the whole thing on video. I'm pretty sure I
Did,
did.
did the Ashtar Command,
Oh,
did
two
the
ships.
Ashtar Command get rid of it?
Oh yeah, two ships went right after them, and I'm hoping that they got him.
Oh yeah,
Oh, good.
they did that to me the other night. It was like I was in a nuclear fallout. It was a trip, and I
Repeat that
know they're
question
doing
again.
it. It was almost like a nuclear fallout. Like there was white stuff coming out of the sky, and I could taste it. And a ship went over. I know it was them.
That's what's making you sick. That same thing like with me. I think that's why I'm having such a problem with my leg healing.
Yeah, because Ray's having a problem with his thumb.
Yeah.
Not getting better at all.
Yep, and same thing with me. I think that that's what's going on. Because they've been trying to infiltrate my property for a while now. So, they thought they would get slick and go over and drop some stuff on us, but the Ashtar Command went after them with two ships.
Yeah, our Ashtar Command will not let any of that stuff happen. Our command will take those negative ETs who are trying to do their stuff over April's property or anywhere, and they're not going to go after, they're not going to play around with the Ashtar Command. Our spaceships can outmaneuver them, and we can take them right out. Meaning, they will not be able to get in to any. April's property is protected, and there's a lot of Ashtar Command ships in the mountains there. And if they need to, if one of these negative ET ships come in and tries to do that, they might thought they was being smart, but I didn't know that happened, and they took them right out. They're not there anymore.
Well,
They sent them back.
I hope they don't come back. I don't want them here.
Yeah, they've tried. This is the third time now that they've tried to infiltrate my property. But the Ashtar Command was right on top of it, and then right after that, I saw the rainbow sparkly ships going through, cleaning the air up immediately. They were right on top of it. But I had some stuff like happening. But that's why it was late coming into your live, is because that was happening just before. It was like around 9:30 ish. That happened. So I was trying to get documentation of it.
Oh yeah,
Thank God.
outside
Mm-hmm.
because they know I take pictures every night.
Okay, repeat your question. Now April has the mic on mute. Repeat it again.
No, I said they know I go out every night. I feel like I'm being watched, so I know. I kind of know, and it was almost like I was in a nuclear fallout, like a nuclear bomb just went off.
Yeah.
I could taste it. It's bad. Whatever it is, it's bad.
I would suspect the Anunnaki would be there to clean up the mess of whatever was going on.
This is the chemicals I've been talking about for the last week that these guys would keep trying to put in the air. This is what they've been putting into our. They've been spreading it with ships. They put it up, and during those aurora lights, they were trying to do it then to make a mass amount of people sick, and the Ashtar Command was like right there cleaning it up. And then they were doing it in certain parts of cities. They were putting them in the street lights. Like every few street lights were spraying this stuff out at a certain time of the day. They sent out these little hidden. I don't know. They were like little robots, like little droids that they would put out there to go to take care of those street lights. But they were
People asking questions. A negative ET group was trying to do this with these chemicals, but the Ashtar Command came in and took care of all of them and sent them out. I think they sent them back through the portal or wherever they came in. They took them out of there, correct?
Yeah. They took
what they did is they took them to one of the holding facilities. They have several of them across the planet, and they had the choice to either go back to wherever it was they came from and be put on one of these refurbished ships, or and escorted by Ashtar Command off the planet, or if they wanted to make a fuss and wanted to try to stay or create any more problems, they put them through the portal, and you don't want to go in the portal.
You know what? It's almost to hearing that from somebody because
Yep.
I've heard that before. Almost like a deja vu.
Oh, April, you want? Oh, April, you want? She went on the mute. What's the? Can you say it again, Mary?
I said what she just said. It was almost like a deja vu. Like I've heard that said to me before.
Yeah. Hey, Rod, take care. We'll see you later. Rod's still in Eric. Good to see you. Or who is ever going off tonight for sleep. It's now getting to about 2 in the morning, and it's getting late.
That's not
It
late
is.
yet. What are you talking about? I'm going to go back outside and take some pictures.
I know you are, and I believe you will be doing that. So we're going to be on tomorrow night. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to be on the radio station. So I want everyone to tune in to wesufm.org. We'll be live. We'll be live on TikTok, on the radio, FM worldwide, and locally in the region in New England on FM. And that's my morning show for 21 years called The Cosmic Eye. So I want everyone, if you have a chance to, wherever you are in the world, tune into The Cosmic Eye on audio, wesufm.org. Also, I'll be simulcasting it here on TikTok, so you'll be able to see me in Studio A. I call that the Ashtar Command Studio. And see, Red Jen says, are you saying it's the government or other beings spraying chemicals? It's actually other beings that were doing it, and they're
It's
being taken
both.
to a
It's it's
station where
both.
there's going to be a choice to, you know, change their ways or just be taken straight off the planet.
It's both, Commander. It's negative. I call them
And government too, right?
low vibers. It's low vibrational beings working with the government.
With the government, that's right. That's
Yeah.
exactly right. Exactly. Love for peace. What was your question? Love for peace, aka James Irie 1, I think it is. We're trying to look at multitask here. What is your question? Love for peace. Love for peace. Repeat your question. We're trying to catch up with a lot of different questions here. Okay, working with government. Okay, Regen. So, if you can, send Ashtar to my house to chase them away. To chase. We've been sick for days. Animals too. Okay, so here's what I want to do. I'm going to take a moment here. Love for peace. I want you to close your eyes. We're going to help you out here. And people, now that I've read your comment, we're going to help you here. I want you to close your eyes. And as you do so, I want you to clear your consciousness. And actually, let me see here. Yeah, close your eyes. And when you do so, I want you to say, I am a Christed being of light. I'm a Christed being of light, and we're going to put an energy around your home, an invisible light energy. And if you're on live with me, you don't have enough people to come on live, but if you were, I would do this with you, but I'll do it this way. We're going to send an Ashtar command ship to your location now that I know your story. And we're going to have 7 Ashtar command people that will be, and again, because I can't see you, I can only go by your sentence, we'll send 7 Ashtar command people to your home, wherever that is on the planet. And whatever's going on, we're also going to have within the ship above your home a small orb type device that will clear whatever is being done, whatever the negative ETs have done to you or your family. We're going to send an orb that is translucent, that can go through walls and everything. But the first thing we're going to do is the Ashtar Command personnel are going to go through your living quarters, and it's going to clear all the energy up that is causing problems for you. And the key thing that's making you feel sick, whatever that is going to be cleared up. It's going to be taken out. We've been sick for days, and the animals too. So I'm going to do some heavy work. Again, everything I do here, nothing is attached to me. I give it all up to the Creator, which is God. But we're going to put a protection around you. I want you to also put a protection around you and understand that you can put a protection around your whole beingness. So I ask that the Ashtar Command over that property, whatever negative ETs or whatever have been, or the government have been working to do this to this person, that energy be cleared out, that whatever kind of poisoning they've been trying to do, that be reversed, and that that person's location is protected. And I want you to close your eyes and say, I'm a Christed being of light. I will not allow this to occur anymore. I'm empowered. I do not allow this to occur anymore. And because I can't talk to you and have this conversation like I am with April and with Mary, I just have to hope that that this will help you. So all I can do is hope that this will help you. I want you to, they're saying they're being microwaved. That's our government. I want you to tell me how you feel at the moment. I want you to tell me how. They don't have enough followers yet to get on here. Love for peace. Can you tell me how you feel right now? I see you saying, love you guys. How do you feel at the moment? You feel blessed and truly well. That's good. Are you feeling blessed and truly well now? After we did this, is that what you're saying? I do feel a blanket of peace. Okay. I want to explain something here. Everything I do, I've been given the abilities when I came to Earth that were activated now. Not so much when I was a little kid. I've been given the ability by the command to do certain things here. And anyone who's watched my shows over since 2023 now, at times I've done stuff that I didn't even know I can do. So I've been activated here. And when I need to help somebody like this, their whole energy shifts in their home. And when I send a spaceship over to somebody's location, it's not some like imaginary story. It's not like I'm imagining it that I hope something happens and I'm telling a fib or something here. I actually do have the power in a positive way of love, that because I work with my space families on the ships, that they've given me this ability that they will send a ship over if it's a specific situation, as it is with James, a love for peace. We will send a ship over and take care of the situation, which we just did. The ship is going to stay there for the night, for the next 24 hours, James. Love for peace. The command will stay with you for approximately 48 hours. And they will also check the perimeters of your property for your animals to make sure that they're okay. All your animals you have will make sure they're okay, and then they will leave. And hopefully they're also put a blockage They're going to block the government from doing anything on your property, above your property or on your property. I feel a start of betterness. Oh, good. Good, good, good. You know, the commander does exactly what he always what he does. April knows this to be true. Many of you know what I do who've been watching my show from the beginning. I know, Mary, you know, I do what I do, and I'm not. I don't have a hocus pocus. I don't have crystal balls or pendulums. I don't read cards. I don't throw a bunch of tea up in the air. I do what I do, what I do is I help people on the show when I need to. I really do. So I bless you, and I really do hope that everything. I think everything's going to shift.
Just
Everything will
remember
shift.
love and light. Always say love and light,
Yeah.
no matter what.
Love for Peace says, I always watch your show and I am a healer as well, but I feel I needed your help. Well, that's where sometimes, even if you're a healer, you need help, and I can do that, and we appreciate that. Can we all meditate on healing gang stalkers so they won't harass anyone? I'm not sure what those are, but I will tell you this: we have to deal with very specific things that are affecting the planet. And when the government works with negative ETs to try to do things, the government's going to lose. I will say this right now on behalf of the Ashtar Command, which is part of the ground crew of this, that if the government is listening and we have this show protected, don't try doing these things to people because you're gonna be having a problem. You need to just surrender, give up, and realize that you can't stop the positive contacts that are going to happen on Earth. You can't stop it. You can't prevent it. We're not going to let you do it. I won't let you do it.
So,
We won't let you
Commander,
do it.
I think
Yeah.
Ray is like you because he told Paranormal Ghostbusters that they were going to come in his dreams, and they did. He had a
Yeah.
dream at night. I think
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah. And Lighthouse Ministry is absolutely correct. Light, God is light and love. God is light, love, life. I have been on your show one time, and I'm so blessed tonight. And we're glad to have you on with us here. And I feel that you will be blessed. Xena says, I'm always calling for them and I get nothing, nothing, nothing. You will, Xena. You just have to just give it time. When it's time for them to contact you, they will.
And
Sherry.
don't try so hard. They will come to you.
Yeah. Yeah, don't have to keep trying. Let them just come to you. That's the way it happens, you know. Well, now it's 2:12 in the morning. I do think any last words from each of you before we call tonight's show, and then tomorrow morning you can turn on the show again on my show, the Cosmic Eye radio show on WESU tomorrow morning. You can see more of my beautiful self here. And I will be in human form. Of course, I'm just kidding you. But you can see me again radiating on the camera tomorrow morning in Studio A on WESUFM.org. That's WESUFM.org, and that's an NPR Pacifica radio station. I've been on there for 21 years, everybody. So, and then on that show, if you do have a story to tell, don't try to come on live on TikTok. Call me up on the station, and I'll put you on our worldwide audience of people on the internet and on our FM side. Thank you, Rod. We appreciate that. And it's been a great show. Any last words from you, Mary, and then also from April, and then we'll
So
call
I just want to say that me and Ray love everybody. And we really love being here. We really love talking to all of you. So you have brought our spirits up like 100% since we started talking to you. So I'm just truly blessed, both of us,
Well, thank you. Thank
that
you.
everybody's here.
And my sister April up in northern Vermont at Ashtar Command Headquarters. Any last words?
Yes. I just wanted to kind of throw out there that if anybody is feeling like any kind of sickness or anything from the chemicals that were being put out there, try some ginger root and try some turmeric. It's been really helpful with making people so they're not feeling so sick. And this is coming from Annabelle. This is from the fairies. They're the ones that are telling me about this. That should help with the feeling of the sickness from the chemicals that they've been putting out there.
Mm. Very good, very good. And also, not to mention that on May 25th in the Apple Orchard in Connecticut, we're going to be gathering to do an Astro Command visual contact event. And I want people also to support everyone here. Also, when April does her live, show her some support. It'll help her in many ways. She's healing from what's going on with her leg, and we want to make sure that she can physically get down here. So I need everyone to show that support to make sure, gas-wise, what it costs to go up and down from where she is to Connecticut and back up. Make sure that you help support her here. And other than that, everyone just have a really good night. And we're going to go off planet and have a good sleep. And we'll see you tomorrow morning. I want to thank everybody
Bye,
for being here.
everybody. Have a good night. Sweet dreams.
And send me some pictures, Mary, of the Anunnaki, if you have pictures of them.
Oh, I will. I also have videos of the UFOs, of the ships, too. So.
Oh, good. Everybody take care. We see you all on the screen. I have too many names to mention, but we love you all. And you've been watching Encounters. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Let's just do this here. I am disconnecting myself.